games, day number two, and we will be seeing the semifinals game matches later on. What we are your shoutcasters. With me is Annie, and I am Mike.
Yeah, hey Mike. I mean, it was really, really exciting yesterday, especially that last game. It was an absolute nail biter, and I can't believe Elpida Esports pulled off that clutch. But yes, we're taking a look at the brackets that we will be watching today, which is gonna be the semifinals, of course. That would be Kalu Ofumi versus Ellen and Sleeping Forest, and the second bracket is gonna be TL plus Elpida Esports. So, this is gonna be really exciting, Mike.
Definitely, and of course, with the games right here that we will have Kalo Ufumi and Eren and Sleeping Forest. I'm really as excited as you are to witness these games, and really, I love the aggression these teams have, and also I really love how they play. That they usually go in for experimental builds, but different. Aside from that, they also try to strive for the balanced team comp as well.
Yeah, and that's what I'm really excited for, the banning and the picking phase. Because yesterday we had some really interesting lineups, especially those that didn't utilize the marksman. But then sometimes it actually works out for the best, and sometimes it didn't. So I'm excited to see how this will work out today. So we're gonna be seeing Element Sleeping Forest and Kalu Ofumi. Both of these teams won their respective brackets. Well, that's why they kind of move forward. But still, I want to see how these two teams go up against each other.
And yeah, we would probably see the bands later on, but of course, to those that are watching, please do like, comment, and show your love, show your support, and share the stream with your friends. And of course, we will be with you until the conclusion for this one, as we will be moving on and looking for the teams that will be battling it for the finals tomorrow. But yeah, for now, we're gonna be going into the bands, and I think is that a probably a Hayabusa. I can't really see clearly. But yeah, for the side of Kaloo Fumi, they would be banning a Kalia as well.
Yeah, it seems like a Hayabusa and a Kalia to my eyes too. But that's just our first bans for each of the teams, and these are, well, pretty common bans. I see a lot of Kalia yesterday, especially if it doesn't get a ban, it definitely gets picked. And Hayabusa is a pretty good assassin as well, so that's to be understandable as well. And the fact that this is day number 2 of this MLBB event, it means that these two teams, actually, the teams that are going to be playing tonight, I'm sure they will do VOD reviews of the stream yesterday and see how their opponents are going to fight against each other. So, this is going to be fun. Some of these bans are going to be respect bans. Some of these picks are also going to be respect picks. So, this is what I'm excited for tonight.
And yeah, while waiting for these follow-up bans as well, of course, I also admire the way Kaloo Fumi really is disciplined with their teams. Right here, though, they will be facing a new opponent, which is the Sleeping Forest. And with the Sleeping Forest as well, they do have that experimental team comp, but at the same time, they also strive to be near that balance as well. And when they do that, it's that kind of play, that experimental team comp, usually gets that unpredictability against your enemies. And if they can really read you, especially during the early game, then they would be snowballing until the end, and they could just really get that win. So it's really intriguing on which team will win for this semifinals. And yeah, I think we're gonna be looking at the Harith and the Badang ban for the side of Kala Ofumi, and I think for Elenets leaving for Suyu would be banned.
And I believe the other one is Hanzo. So that's like multiple assassins getting banned right now. And I'm just taking note that Ellen and Sleeping Forest. Oh, that's a Jushin. I just had to point that out because she always gets banned, and Sleeping Forest backs them in the first pick.
Oh.
That's a very big priority on their side, and that's to be understandable because Zushin has amazing damage for mage, and of course Kalua Fumi is going to respond with the joy and the gatot kacha. And I mean, this is going by really fast. Sleeping Forest picks Lucas, yeah, as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a Lucas and a Granger and a Zushin. The main damage output right here will be picked out for the side of Sleeping Forest. Kalo Fumi, on the other hand, would be securing the Joy, the assassin at the core right here, and of course, Gacha to get some durability and a little bit of that crowd control to help them with their team fights later on. But yeah, we finally get to see a Zushin pick right here in this game, and I mean, to those players, especially that haven't seen a lot of Zushin games, you can really see later on the damage that Zushin does. Like we it kind of this game will probably show us why Zushin is a must ban.
Yeah, I can't wait for Ellen and Sleeping Forest to basically like prove to us why Zushin needs to be banned every single game, and these two teams would be regretting not putting them on the banning. But of course, we're looking at some of these bans. One of the pretty interesting bans is the Harith on the side of Kalu Ofumi. I'm sure they watched the stream of Ellen and Sleeping Forest, and Harith at the hands of I don't think I forgot who held the Harith, but the Harith really carried their team yesterday. But then again, one thing to point about Ellen and Sleeping Forest is that they went against a pilots which had the same banner of LNN, so they probably fought against each other multiple times before. So that's why they're probably experimental yesterday. But right now, these picks are pretty meta. These picks are pretty typical. So I line up a different kind of strategy right now.
Call of Fumi taking their mage right here with a Zask. Usually, I only see Zask sometimes, but I think Call of Fumi is really confident with their picks right here, especially them getting Brody as well. And you've seen their games, especially picking that Brody. But yeah, a Brody and a Zask and a Joy for their damage right here with the Kufra and Belleric. And okay, for Sleeping Forest, I do love the picks right here, especially that two heroes right here are gonna be going for the tankiness and the durability. Sleeping for, Lucas still has that durability, but you know these two heroes with Zushin and Granger, and a little bit of that Lucas as well will be going for the damage. So it's kind of like a 50-50 right here in the tankiness and the damage right here. But yeah, I mean the possible weakness right here if Kalo Fumi could look for that one person, like maybe a Zushin or a Granger. They could look for that and focus on the damage on that hero, and I think their answer for that would be a Jawhead.
Yeah, the Jawhead can be good against the backlines, especially Granger and Azushin. So depending on how they execute this Jawhead, it's gonna give Galo Ofumi the strategy that they need, to pick off the damage dealers from behind. And I saw Trafalgar pull off this Jawhead yesterday. And of course, it did work. They did move forward to the semifinals. So I'm really excited to see how they'll execute this. So, of course, those were our picks. Pretty typical, pretty balanced on both sides. So, right now, it's all about the execution of both these teams. But what I'm really excited about is Azushin, because we're gonna be seeing her for the first time, and of course we are back to the line of dawn already. An invasion by the side of Trafalgar of Kaluofami.
Started already applying that damage. And now Trafalgar will have to move back, and they're just gonna be poking at each other from this point. And you can already see in just 30 seconds the damage that Zushin really does. It's just the constant magic damage can be applied, but the Jawhead again, Trafalgar just poking a little bit, and yeah, that would be it for now.
That's it for now. Really excited once again for this Zushin, especially once she gets those items. But taking a look at the map right now, There's two at the top. I think Jawhead has rotated to the top where the jungler of the side of Kalo Ofumi is. Possible gank at the gold lane, but I mean, Ellen and Sleeping Forest, a lot of backup is coming in as well to help their Granger. So I don't think it's gonna be a gank for now. So we're just taking a look at how everyone's doing. Of course, we do see the Bellert and the Gatot Gacha. They are the EXP laners, and the junglers are kind of. I mean, there's something happening. There's an invasion happening in the jungle of the side of Kaluo Fumi. Two players, that is Azushin and the Kufra of the side of Ellen and Sleeping Forest, trying to go for that red buff just a while ago, but then they're backing off right now.
Definitely, and for now, KOF would still be looking in for a possible objective right here. I mean, the turtle is there. This could be their opportunity to start the team fight and to maybe start changing the levels or the tempo for both of these teams. Once the turtle will be secured. But yeah, for now, Sleeping Forest already active on that one as they will be securing the first turtle, and KOF wouldn't be able to do anything.
I love the mobility of that Kufra. And yes, we did mention a while ago that Ellen Sleeping Forest, they do have a pretty balanced lineup. But I'm kind of nervous about the fact that the damage is very focused towards just two of these players, which is like Granger and Zushin. But over at the top,
Whoop, there we have it. Another damage. The knockup is there. The first blood will go to Midnight as the Granger. We have seen his Granger yesterday, and now we have it once again. Rafil, the Brody, will be taken out by the Kufra.
and I love the damage coming in from the Zushin once again. This is why I'm so excited. That Goofer has a considerable amount of damage, but without any backup, nothing really happened after that, and the Zushin might be in trouble.
Oh, there we have it once again. Jawhead still. Trafalgar will take a kill for that one, but now they're trying to catch Kufra away from that. A flicker will save his life, and that would be it. Though they have wasted a little bit of their time right here, especially that they've sent out 4 people from KOF to go and really just stop them at the top side of the map.
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous because there was a potential 2 versus 4 in the gold lane, but unfortunately, Kaluo Fumi didn't really go in and commit to that engagement. So I guess they have other objectives in mind, especially over here. The turtle is going to be spawning in less than half a minute, but no team has really decided to position themselves towards the river, towards where the turtle is. So let's just see what's gonna happen because everyone's pretty spread out in the map. I don't think they have the objectives in mind, but taking a look at the stats, LNN CP Forest has a bit of a small gold lead, not that much of significance, but still the gold lead is there. 2-1 on the scoreboard as well, and it's less than 5 minutes into the game. The turtle has spawned, and it looks like Alana and Sleeping Forest, they have the numbers advantage.
Could be on the move right here, but it turned around. Trafalgar will be sacrificed for now. KOF no choice but to go for an engagement right here, but it's too late. One is already down from their side, and they are left with no choice but to just run away, and they would leave Nagato for this one. Nagato would be taking the fall, and now it's just gonna be another kill for the side of Sleeping Forest.
And I was surprised Alana and Sleeping Forest didn't decide to go for that turtle, but yeah, I think they were just gonna clear the mid lane before they do just that. And their jungler is actually rotating to the other side, so I don't think they're eyeing the turtle, which is, well, it was strange, but I think they have something in mind. But yeah, they're taking the buff first. And over here, there's actually the chance that they can take the blue buff of Kaluo Fumi, but Joy just appeared. And just taking a look at the map, I think everyone's just going back to their farming phase, to their jungling phase. And, well, so far, in terms of map control, I think no one's really tipping the scales yet. So we'll just have to wait and see later on.
Yeah, I mean, you do look at it, they are not really just eyeing for the turtle, though it has already been started by the side of Sleeping Forest. Belleric, on the other hand, will be zoning him out. We got Kacha already aware of that, but here we have at the top side, and there's gonna be a battle, and Rafil would go down once again. Turtle, on the other hand, would be taken to the side of Sleeping Forest, but the mid will be pushed towards their team. For now, nothing will be done as they have responded quickly, and they would just probably control this wave and just add a little bit more of that protection, especially that they've taken the first turn.
Yeah, that's the first turret, 6 minute mark into this game. And I guess these two teams are actually playing it pretty safe. So much respect, not much invasion of the jungle as well. But taking a look at the mid lane.
Oh, there we have it. Oh, the Belleric ultimate being popped out. Trafalgar still manages to find a way to actually move back with a flicker, and they would actually KOF will not go for an engagement right here.
Yeah, I mean, Kalo Fumi, they keep backing out from these team fights, and I think they have something in mind, especially since Sleeping Forest is 5 compared to 1 on the scoreboard. And of course, slowly but surely, Elena Sleeping Forest is tipping the scales towards their favor, and over in the mid lane, there's a lot of pressure.
Trafalgar fails once again. The ultimates and the skills not connecting. The synchronization for KOF also needs to be done. It has to be worked on for them to execute this one. And I really love the Jawhead pick, but they really need to synchronize their actions right here.
I mean, I think there's a little bit back in the mid lane
Oh,
actually.
oh, there we have another Yanni with electrifying beats gets killed and will have to move back. On the other hand, KOF would be ready for some possible rescue operation, but here we have it.
Oh.
They could be leaning towards the turtle while Sleeping Forest would be a little bit distracted.
Yeah, I mean, Taluofumi has a chance right now. They managed to position themselves. They rotated early towards the turtle. They're getting that started, but I think LL Sleeping Forest could potentially contest this. So this is something that we're gonna be looking forward to. Looking at the
Oh, there we have
river.
it. Look at the turtle right here. Trafalgar falling yet another time. And now that the turtle, of course, will be taken to the side of Sleeping Forest, going for the double kill. That's going to be Kensei. Gotstart looking for another. That's going to be 3 down the side of KOF. Now, still nowhere to run for KOF but to just give the middle turret.
And I love the positioning of Custard. And LL Sleeping Forest is not done just yet. Movie TZ taking a lot of damage.
And now the damage, he can't even contribute for this team fight. Custer just goes for the one-on-one, though with low health remaining, he overextended and Trafalgar would punish him for that. However, he would try to run away, but again, KOF would go in and rescue his teammates from here on out.
I mean, I was about to compliment Custard's pretty good positioning in team fights, but they go ahead and overextend. But still, they're quite far. Oh, wait, still something happening in the mid lane once again.
Gensei with a mega kill, 2v3 remaining, but the third Katakacha gets into the fray. Low on health, that's gonna be Mads, and they could probably be targeting him. But yeah, Trafalgar and the rest of KOF would be trying to not really overextend much, though it was gonna be too late since Midnight will finally kill him with his ultimate.
Okay, you guys are done now because 2 engagements ago, I was going to compliment Custard's positioning in the team fights, but they overextended. And yeah, I mean, the Zushin is definitely like proving to us why this hero gets banned time and time again, and we can see that with the damage of Custard, especially with a good mid laner, a very good positioning in the team fights. And so this is really wonderful to watch. Ellen and Sleeping Forest, they definitely turned the tides already. I mean, that's pretty much a snowball towards the mid game, but over here at the mid lane, I'm not sure if they're gonna go ahead and take the team fight, especially since Kaluofumi is kind of falling behind in terms of map control, in terms of objectives, and now we're seeing a Lord Dance. It looks like Kaluofumi might be trying for this contest.
Trafalgar once again falls down. The rest of KOF weren't able to act properly, and they weren't able to really connect the dots right here. Trafalgar still needs to work, especially on coordinating with the rest of his teammates. But yeah, the Lord will be going to the side of Sleeping Forest, and they're chasing him down. The knockout takes Gacha up. Could be actually take this kill, going for the second. And now there's just gonna be 2 members remaining, Disaster and the Joy, with nothing to give. nothing to lose as well, and they would try to at least get them damage in. Trafalgar already flipping, but it's gonna be that minion. He will suffer a little bit more of the damage, but yeah, the turret could be going towards them while Custard will finally get the kill.
Yep, this is not a good look, especially with the Lord marching towards the bottom lane. And of course, Elena and Sleeping Forest with all five of their players still alive and kicking. They've reached the crystal, but unfortunately, that last minion dies. And Kalo Fumi lives to see another day, but then again, we're looking at another minion wave. Let's see if Kalo Fumi will wonderfully defend this.
Oh, the Balearic being popped out. Kensei gets a kill. The Lord pushing from the bottom part of the map. Killing spree for the side of Sleeping Forest, as now they would actually get a double kill on the Zushin, and they're just clashing it out. Low health remaining, and now Movie TC would be eliminated, and it's going to be a triple kill with Midnight, and taking game number one for the side of LNN Sleeping Forest.
I mean, not gonna lie, within the early game, I didn't actually know which of these two teams would win because they were kind of equal, in terms of objectives, in terms of gold lead, in terms of the kills as well on the scoreboard. But all the while, towards the mid game, something just tipped. I guess maybe the Granger and the Zushin as well got their items and their damage began to shine. Time and time again, KOF lost their team fights, and that just helped Sleeping Forest kind of snowball towards the end. And so, congratulations once again. That is 1 point for the side of Sleeping Forest, and they are on match point on the series.
And I mean, I was actually looking forward for the Kalawufumi, especially that their answer. I was talking about it. The damage from SLFO actually is being shown with Azushin, the Granger, and the Lucas. You could really counter that with a hero like Johead who locks down on one enemy hero, and they could really turn the tides. But it was very unfortunate. The Trafalgar really kept charging towards the battle, and his teammates are still pretty much behind. You weren't able to connect even, and sometimes he would fail the flips towards his teams. It really just cost him the game. But yeah, that would just be it for now. We would be heading on to game number two in just a short break.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna be taking a look at the
Oh,
brackets
actually.
first. Yeah, and I heard the voices from above say that. But yeah, talking about Trafalgar and their Jawhead, I think the execution didn't really execute. But then again, Sleeping Forest did a good job, especially with the supports, the Balearic and the Kufra. They did a really good job protecting their damage dealers. And Travel Guard just could not break into those front lines. I think that also kind of contributed to the side of Sleeping Forest and the victory. And so with that, the brackets have been updated, and Ellen and Sleeping Forest puts one on the board, and that just means they're on match point. If Kalufumi gets this next game, we'll be moving on to game number 3. But if not, Sleeping Forest will be seeing the finals.
There you have it, our current bracket, and I am just gonna be excited for the next game that will follow up, especially with Kalofumi if they can finally get an answer, or maybe they can work this out with their Jawhead once again. But yeah, I think we will finally be heading on to a short break, and yeah, we will see you later on.
And we are back to Ooredoo Nation's Esports Contender Series. This is MLBB. We just witnessed the first series of the semifinals. Actually, we're still in the first series of the semifinals. This is Kalo Fumi versus Ellen and Sleeping Forest with the victory of Ellen and Sleeping Forest just a while ago on the first game. And we'll be moving on to the second game. But before that, we are once again your casters. My name is Annie and Mike is with me. Mike, what are your thoughts so far?
Thank you so much for that, Annie. And really, my thoughts. I mean, my honest thoughts was I was really looking forward for the KOF's Trafalgar with this jawhead because it was the perfect. I think it was for me the perfect answer of to the team comp of Sleeping Forest. And yeah, you can look at the bracket right now. They have 1 point for the side of Sleeping Forest, and I was really looking forward towards that jawhead play, but usually he was just too early at times, and the team wasn't able to really connect the dots just yet. And when he gets into the fray, the damage was already too late, as now that his health was being chopped up. But yeah, we will be heading on to game two. They could. I think I'm really just expecting right here for KOF to instantly ban Azushin and probably a Granger. Oh yeah,
Nope.
there we have it.
They did not apparently, but Kalo Fumi is gonna be the first pick, so maybe they'll get the Zushin for their side. And Eladon Sleeping Force definitely did not take that chance to
See,
get that
see,
Zushin ban. Oh well, I guess they're
yeah.
banning the Zushin. I guess
Those.
their mid laner isn't like I guess their mid laner doesn't like Zushin, so they're gonna go ahead and ban that. Actually, these are respect bans. It's the Granger and the Zushin of Sleeping Forest, so I'm excited to
Yeah.
see how Elena Sleeping Forest is gonna respond to that.
Yeah, a third man for the side of KOF would be Harith, Sleeping Forest, responding with a Suyu ban, and I think that's I can't really see properly, but yeah,
Hayabusa.
Hayabusa, or is it a Julian? I don't know. But anyways, once again, for Kalo Ofumi right here, we've already predicted their instant bans were just Granger and Zushin, and with this one, they could have used this one, but I called it a while ago. Game number one, it was the proof that Zushin is an insta ban in any game because the damage for Zushin is just really immense and in an area of effect as well. So whenever the clashes begin, not only one would be affected by your damage, multiple enemies would be affected. But yeah, I mean, Kyle Fumi, they'll be locking their first pick with a Badang.
Yeah, I mean, typical fighter pick, that will be the Badang on the side of Call of Fumi. But talking about Zushin, I think Zushin being a really good hero with a lot of damage is one thing, but the fact that Eleven Sleeping Forest's Custard executes that so well with their positioning and with their timing in the team fights, that's just another thing to think about. But of course, I think Lieutenant Custard is gonna be going for that Sicilian instead, especially since Kalo Fumi has taken away that Zushin from the table. And once again, I'm talking about Kalo Fumi's respect bans. This is the Granger and the Zushin from the first game, and actually this is the Harith from yesterday that was so well executed on the side of Ellen and Sleeping Forest. And so with that, I commend KOF for actually doing their homework, and with that, I'm really excited to see how they will pick their lineup right now.
Kalo Ofumi getting that joy, and again, they're gonna be sticking to that hero once again for game number two, as they will probably have the chance to win this one, and a Brody once again. Sleeping Forest, their play style is really just consistent with them going for the aggression and the damage. Balearic to be locked as their third pick, but yeah, Hanzo and Sicilian, I think that was their backup sound against their team. Like, look, the Hanzo, the Sicilian, the damage is really just there, just to especially I think that was the backup picks whenever Granger and Zushin would be banned.
Yeah, and they have the Belric on their side once again. Yesterday, a while ago, the Belric was definitely something that helped out in the team fights. And so with that on the side of Ellen Sleeping Forest, I think it's pretty fitting for Sleeping Forest since Belric is, I think that was like made of wood or something. But that's a very interesting band. That would be a Diggy on the side of Ellen Sleeping Forest. I think they're trying to cook something up because maybe Diggy is gonna be a direct counter for their potential picks later on. But I think we can see as I think that's Zask on the side of the bats of Sleeping Forest as well, and of course a Moskov on the side of KOF.
And yeah, for now, I will be waiting for the final bans right here. And once again, Sleeping Forest going in for the damage. Lucas, they could probably opt for a Lucas right here. Or, I don't know just yet. But anyways, yeah, they would be finalizing their bans from this point forward. And final ban would be Kufra. I mean, Kufra was the MVP last game as well, so it was really effectively done for the side of Sleeping Forest. The initiate that was started by their Kufra was really effective, and that gave them those skills. They also have that the Belleric was also locked, though, so they can't really do anything much about it.
Yeah, and I love Kalo Fumi's banning lineup. These are all respect bans. Yesterday we saw a Moskov, and today we did see the Kufra pair up with that Belleric in order to kind of support the rest of their teams and support the backlines. And I mean, it was so well executed, but this is funny. Alana Sleeping Forest picks Franco. This will be interesting because I don't see Franco that much in the competitive scene, but well, I'm really excited now.
And yeah, Franco would be picked. I think just to lock in on an enemy right here. Oh, actually, if I'm not mistaken, during Joy with their electrifying beats, if he gets onto the backline, trying to maybe get Sicilian or the Hanzo, which would be focused on getting him with his second form, probably Franco would lock onto that Joy that will try to go into the back lanes. But yeah, I mean, we also have Vixana to pair that up as well, the damage, the constant damage, and together with that Brody. And yeah, they're just gonna be solid with that. For now, though, a Sleeping Forest to be waiting for the final pick to complete this roster.
Yeah, and I didn't notice Trafalgar. I think their specialty, especially in this team, in regards to their team, they're gonna be breaking the backlines a lot. And so without the Jawhead, they're gonna be going in for the Cho instead, and that Cho is just gonna pick off the the back lines of the side of Sleeping Forest. So potentially they could go for the Sicilian or maybe the Hanzo if they can find their body first. And of course, the carry that's Sleeping Forest is gonna be choosing later on, but they are still choosing right now. So far, Kalofumi, we can see their full lineup. That Vixana has a lot of damage as well, and so that's really good. And once again, we're gonna be seeing the Brody on the hands of Raphael, and I'm really just waiting for Raphael to kind of show their true potential because I don't think they were Kalofumi has like really shown their true potential and see like the carries full damage, but we're seeing LL Sleeping Forest has finally chosen their marksman.
Okay, a 1-1 to complete
Mm-hmm.
that pick actually surprised me. Okay, I've run out of words. Anyways, we've been a 1-1 user as well before, so I'm really interested in how they're gonna do with this one. Probably be able to complete the passive for 1-1 just as soon as possible before he can get those damage while not being targeted by the enemies, which I think could be the joy of prioritizing on that one. But yeah, here we are at the land of dawn.
Yeah, and once again, the 1-1 is kind of a surprise. And that's probably why 1-1 got picked last. 1-1 has a really good mobility, but yeah, actually, and no buts. I'm really excited to see how they'll execute this. And of course, there are actually two pretty interesting picks on the side of LNC before. That'll be the Franco as well as the 1-1. I'm really excited to see how they'll execute that. And looking at this, Trafalgar is already poking at the side of LNC Sleeping Forest, but I don't think these teams they can really do much yet just yet. Already the first blood bottom falls down. Just a while ago, Belleric's kind of low on health, and so with that, I mean, they're already out for blood, so it's pretty crazy right here.
Yeah, Sleeping Forest already getting their first blood already as Belleric will finally take that one. But I think we're gonna be seeing some action right here for the top side. The Franco hook connects, but that will just be it as they've spotted two more enemies. and now they've sent two allies as well to the front. But that was just gonna be a little bit of that damage, and I think they're gonna be planning for an assassination here at the top side.
Yeah, and I love the positioning of Franco. They're just kind of, bothering the side of Kalaufumi, potentially also delaying their farm bot over here at the lower lane. Ooh.
Yeah, Kensei trying to get the trap as well, and he does. Oh, and here we have it. Sleeping Forest still tries to get a lot of those down just yet, but a turtle would be spawned, and it is kind of looking good for the side of Kalofumi since they have the most numbers on the bot side.
Yeah, and I was really nervous. That was a potential 4 versus 4 towards the turtle. But right now, it doesn't seem that any of these teams really have that advantage. But right now, I think we're seeing a team fight.
The damage was silly. Custard gets it while behind the lines. Yanni, on the other hand, would get a kill with electrifying beats. Still, they are low on health, and they would probably they probably should move back. Mads, however, would be looking for a possible look right here, and yeah, Nagato and the rest of KOF would be initiating the turtle.
I love the fact that these two teams they don't overextend and they respect each other's damages. But taking a look at the turtle, I think there will be a possible contest.
Oh. Yanni will finally get a kill on the turtle, but Kensei, on the other hand, after trying to steal that one, would pay his with his life as he falls down. Mads and the rest of Sleeping Force would have to move back, and they pretty much just lost the clash previously because they were low on health, but they had no choice but to just move back because they can't really contest with that amount of fight. But yeah, here we have Kalo Fumi once again extending their power right here as they try to get Sleeping Forest 1-1. Still gets safely as he was able to complete his passive.
And I love 1-1's strategic use of that the passive and the ultimate actually because they were just waiting for backup to come up from the side of Ellen and Sleeping Forest and they just gave that little bit of invincibility just for waiting for backup. So that was pretty good. Kalaofumi respected that and then they backed away immediately. But over here at the mid lane, there's an awful lot of players. So whether or not there's an initiation, that's something we'll see.
Again, that's gonna be it. Mats will fall down. Yanni gets killed on that one. Electrifying beats connecting once again. Chu gets out safely with a little bit of an HP remaining. And now KOF pretty much alive with now at least 30 seconds on the clock. The turtle will be spawning and it could potentially spark a fight for these teams.
Not so big in the gold lead, but still the gold lead is there on the side of Kalaofumi. And they also have 2 more kills than Sleeping Forest. But once again, just like last game, there wasn't really much of a difference between these two teams in the early game. But whether or not that will change in the mid game, maybe we'll see something, especially here in the gold led 4 versus 4.
Mads getting hit once again, locked onto that Jew. Rafael will get the kill. And now they've taken one casualty from the side of Sleeping Forest. They have the power to expand right here. They're trying to hunt the Beleric, the Badang from behind as well, trying to get them down, and they could probably lock onto the turtle.
And this is pretty much literally picking off someone. Kalaofumi, they're satisfied with 1 kill, and they're all like, well, we're backing away, we're backing away. But over there at the top lane, once again, I think there's a potential tower dive, especially on the side of Ellen and Sleeping Forest.
Sleeping Forest tried to get their actually damage right here. Mads going for a little bit of that poke. Goes actually tries to lock onto that, but again the Chu strikes once again as Rafael will also give the final blow and be able to take down Mads with that Franco. And now they're gonna be heading towards the top side right here, especially that they could get this turret. But 4 actually are gonna dive this one. Low health remaining. That's gonna be Custard trying to run away, but now with a flicker doesn't really secure that one just yet, and they would be able to move back safely.
And I love Kaloofumi's lineup over here, especially with that Badang and the Cho, giving that, making the pick offs kind of possible for the side of KOF. And so with that, most of their kills are actually pickoffs. They just take a one kill from the side of Ellen and Sleeping Forest and then they back away. But slowly and surely, it's actually working out for them, especially since we're starting to see a 3k gold lead on the side of Kalo Ofumi. All the while, Ellen and Sleeping Forest, I mean, I think they're gonna be focusing on farming, but over here at the mid lane, I thought that something was gonna happen, but once again, Kalo Ofumi, I think they have something cooking because they're not really committing completely to these team fights. They just get a one pick off and then go back home. But then again, Kalo Ofumi, I think they have I think they felt that there's a lot of people in that bush, so they're like backing away. But over here at the river,
Mhm. Yeah, here we have a Trafalgar also baiting their skills out. They would probably not get an elimination from this point, and yeah, they would be trying to get this wave pressure towards middle lane.
yeah, and the turtle's gonna be the turtle's gonna be respawning in a few seconds, and it doesn't seem that any of these teams are kind of positioning themselves for it. I mean, it's a bit of equal. There's a three-person there's three people on the side of LNCP Forest that goes to same KOF as well, but we're seeing a lot of rotations coming in from both teams. Kalufumi's getting this started, but I think LNCP Forest is trying to contest that.
And probably Kensei could get this one just in time, just waiting for that retribution to be popped out, and he will finally get a kill on the turtle. However, Trafalgar for the back lanes tries to get into them and tries to flank, but he falls down. He's gonna get killed. Mats on the run, running for his life with low health remaining. Yanni will finally get a kill on that one. Electrifying beats connecting once again, and now Kensei low on health. That would just be it. They would be moving back. They have secured the turtle. No need for an actual fight to happen. But I think right now, Custard and 1-1 also doing that combo, the damage was just too much that they were able to secure a kill.
And we're seeing a deja vu actually of the previous game. Trafalgar, well, losing their lives a little bit too early in those team fights, but of course we're back at it again in the game. I think they're gonna be going in and trying to target the 1-1. That will be Midnight on the side of Ellen and Sleeping Forest, but of course Ellen and Sleeping Forest, they're not gonna let them get away with that.
Feel. No, the ultimate 1-1 was able to use it, and right now Trafalgar would be locked in once again. He could actually be killed right here, but Movie Tuzi would actually be able to rescue him. The push will go at the top side. The wave pressure is still on, but the Lord from Vexana is still pretty much alive. They would just try to eliminate that.
Yeah, and in terms of objectives, I think we're only seeing one turret down in either of these teams, and that would be the lower lane of on the favor of the side of Kalofumi. But Nagato, what are you doing, bro?
The hook connects. Nagato will have to pay for his life. And now, finally, I think Mans is already starting to get to actually understand his hero right here as he gets the second hook. Now, still connecting the damage follow-up as well. Rafil could be going back into the base as soon as he responds. But no, look at it from the back lanes. Yanni chasing him down, taking Custard down with him. And now, still pretty much alive at this point.
Yeah, pretty much alive at this point. This is 8-6 on the scoreboard, and Elena Sleeping Forest finally catches up in terms of kills. And with that, I think Elena Sleeping Forest, they're the kind of team that kind of shines towards the mid and the late game once they get those items and once they get like those XPs, those levels as well. I think that's when things are starting to get serious, and that's what we saw in the previous game as well. So well, right now I think we're looking at Kalofumi starting on with the Lord, and I don't think Ellen Sleeping Forest is gonna contest that unless the rest of their team is gonna be going ahead and rotating into the river.
The Lord would be taken. Sleeping Forest, lower to run. The damage is too much. They're just gonna try to fight this one back. But I really have, I think what they should have done really is they could have committed towards the bot push, and they could have taken the second turret. And it was just too late for you to catch up towards the Lord.
And really gotta commend actually mods Franco really contributes to all these pickoffs on the side of Ellen and Sleeping Forest. We didn't see much of that in the early game. Right now, that hook is just hooking people up. But right now, in the mid lane, there's a lot of players,
Trafalgar.
and they also have to worry about the Lord on the bottom lane. So if Elena Sleeping Forest is being smart. They would not take this team fight. They'd wait for the Lord and then defend their base. And once the Lord has been taken down, that's when they start, potentially starting those team fights.
Trafalgar also trying to get one down. The skills, of course, hoping to get a knock, but that would just be it. They would be focusing now onto the damage towards the Lord right here. However, Kalu Ufumi would be getting those objectives and the first turret in the mid lane, and they would be pushing this once again. Probably get that second turret, but not just yet.
Yeah. And of course, Elena Sleeping Forest, just as predicted, they're not gonna go in for the engagements. They're not gonna initiate just anything because the Lord was kind of pressuring them on the bottom side. But now that they're free, they're all 5 team players in the jungle.
Oh, the knock. Here we have once again connected. Rafael gets a final blow, and the rest of the team from Kalofumi looking good right here. However, Yanni will fall down as his health was just depleted again and again. Rafael, on the other hand, would get the second kill right here. They could be going for the triple kill or maybe the Savage, but here we have Kensei from behind trying to get them down, assassinate them, and here we have Nagato will fall down. They're chasing him down, but of course, just defending this area, especially that they're still trying to go for a comeback now that they're still probably in a deficit.
Numbers disadvantage going to the side of. Actually, no, it was like a 2-2 trade, but over here in the mid lane once again.
Here we have another fight started, but Kensei will have to move back. However, Custard Cecilia, the damage is just too much. He's shedding away Trafalgar like an onion. And yeah, there we have it. Trafalgar trying to protect his teammates as well, but it will be popped out once again. No damage for now. No kills for now, and they would probably be able to get the first third here in mid lane. Probably Kensei, on the other hand, would be prepared to actually go for a little bit of the. But yeah, that would just be it. They still pretty much defended their mid lane there.
Yeah, and that's all good for both of these teams. They have all 5 players left standing, but Travelgar, I think they got the pick off here on Custard.
Second hook once again connects the damage. Following up, Reaper gets a kill, move it easy. Now they're chasing them down. Nagato will also help his teammates. Rafil once again showing up when he is needed the most. And now that they have the advantage right here, 2 members down, and they could probably be able to take this Lord.
Yeah, I mean, Kalo Fumi, they have all the time in the world to take this Lord, especially with Elena and Sleeping Forest positioning themselves on the northern part of the map. And so with that, uncontested whatsoever, the Lord once again going to the side of Kalo Fumi, and Elena and Sleeping Forest, they don't have the luxury to go in and initiate any of these team fights. But then again, talking about the map control, I mean, it's still pretty equalized between these two teams. So Elena and Sleeping Forest, there's not as much pressure as they, have to worry about. But of course, they'll have to worry about the Lord in the bottom lane. But looks like LNCB Forest are actually kind of congregating towards the jungle. I think they have something cooking up in mind, but in the end, they're just eyeing those minion waves, just trying to defend their base. And you know what? Their LNCB Forest, all they can really do right now is stay alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and definitely while they take those torts once again and get those waves down, they could probably be able to save up for a lot of items. But yeah, that would just be it. They have to rely on that one in order to get a chance on the comeback. But yeah, the damage right here still trying to chip them down. Especially the damage from Sicilian is also high, but the team KOF is just too strong at this point.
Absolutely too strong. Kalu Fumi is pushing the pressure towards Ellen and Sleeping Forest, and with that, the mid lane turret of the side of Ellen and Sleeping Forest falls once again. But of course, Ellen and Sleeping Forest, they know their priorities well. They know that they have to keep their base secure, and so with that, they're not taking any of these team fights. We haven't actually seen an engagement so far in a couple of minutes. And also, Kalu Fumi, they're also respecting them. But Kalu Fumi, they shouldn't be complacent at this point. Slowly but surely, Elena Sleeping Force is gonna get their gold in the bag. They're gonna get these items in the bag, and then eventually, especially Lieutenant Custard with the Sicilian, they're gonna get their stacks in, and then they're gonna be seeing a lot of damage later on. But of course, we're gonna be seeing that once Elena Sleeping Forest is confident enough to initiate some of these team fights. I mean, one good team fight, it will tip the favors towards Elena Sleeping Forest, but right now, they're not really taking these fights just yet. Kensei is gonna be scouting for any potential kills and maybe some information as well. And so with that, we're seeing a lot of people congregating in the mid lane.
You really can't do much right here. You just have to wait for those waves to come to you and get those gold, which is what is 1-1 is doing right here on top side, especially that the gold would be focused towards him, and he could really buy those items that would help him get that comeback. But yeah, he would probably doing some shadow work for now. The rest of KOF are still applying those pressure from time to time while also zoning them out to at least secure this third lord.
Yep, and we're seeing a potential Lord. Dance Tracklegar is only half health now. But we're seeing that these two teams are kind of still they're still like waiting it out, trying to see if they can get one pick off first. And Trafalgar is quite low on health, and Lieutenant Custard was also I mean a while ago actually there was a mage that was kind of low on health, but I think everyone has healed up, and the Lord's already half health. What is happening?
It still manages to survive the damage. Also following up Yanni with electrifying beats, gets killed. Kensei going in for the double kill. Custard on the other hand will find a kill, and Yanni just again those electrifying beats just going in for the connect. But yeah, Mads finally connects that hook, but no damage to follow that up. He would pay the price once again as the last member Belleric would be left, alone for this round.
Was such a sad alone again naturally, but yeah, that is a 3-4 trade favoring the side of Kalo Fumi. Joy and Badang are still alive and they are able to get that lore, especially since Joy is still up and running on the side of Kalo Fumi, and that's actually like pretty much the third lord on the side of KOF. And so with that, Sleeping Forest is pressured time and time again to go on the defensive side, and right now I think everyone's gonna go back in and get respawned back into the field. And so with that, we're seeing a repeat once again. Ellen and Sleeping Forest just defending themselves, and you know what, we're 18 minutes into the game. I really want to see something happening, something different right now.
Sleeping Forest again doing the shadow work to at least get those items before the final clash, and maybe get the chance to turn this one around. But yeah, for now they will have to be sticking onto those waves that will be coming, and the third lord once again visiting bottom lane for the third time. And yeah, the pressure is on for the side of Sleeping Forest. KOF could be looking for a victory right here if they're going to be able to connect those dots and those initiates, especially from Trafalgar, which we've seen succeed in the beginning part of the game, but leaving with a very low health remaining. Now the third will be destroyed. The damage following up. Rafael gets one. Could be looking for two. Now the low health from his Sleeping Forest would try to move back as well. But oh, look at that! The back lane still trying to chase them down, but Midnight will finally get a kill with it 1-1, and this could be their moment to take back what was theirs since the beginning.
1-1 trade actually in that team fight. Once again, Fumi backing down. Even though I'm not sure if they had a chance to win that team fight completely, but of course that just gave Ellen and Sleeping Forest the opportunity to defend their base. And with that top lane,
another kill right here. Still, the double kill will go to Rafi as he chases them down. Could be looking for the triple, but he's very low in health. He gets taken away easily. But here we have the triple kill. Will follow up just there. Mads still suffering those consequences as they can actually be able to push this towards their pace, and it's just gonna be a 2v4 scenario right here. They try to take them down, but the damage from Rafi hits that one and really secures game number 2. We will be heading on to game number 3.
yeah, we're gonna be seeing game number 3 in this best of 3 with the victory of Kalo Fumi on the second game. And I mean, that was a pretty long game. I don't know if it reached 20 minutes, but that definitely was more than the late game already. And I'm really just glad that Kalo Fumi tower locked into that crystal and finally ended the game. But that was pretty interesting. I mean, we finally see Kalofumi shine, especially with Trafalgar going into the backlines and picking off, say, the likes of Custard and Midnight as well. Although Midnight is a little bit hard to pick off, still, Trafalgar, finally, we're gonna be seeing their full potential. And so, with that, you know what? Game number three, I wonder what these two teams will pull off.
Yeah, for now, as we actually head on for game number three later on, again, we'd like to talk that Trafalgar for this game, it was his redemption arc, especially that he actually got a lot of mistakes during game number one. Yeah, and here we have our updated bracket once again. For game number two, he was able to turn that one around with his chew. It was Mads this time around that he gets a lot of those mistakes. Those hooks, those engagements really didn't result well. That's why Sleeping Forest were suffering a lot in that one. He tried to get those hooks down eventually, but it was just too late because KOF was able to just snowball, and they were just left with no choice but to try to hope for a comeback, which was just really impossible to just win it. But yeah, for now we'll be heading on to a game number three. But of course, we'll be seeing you after a short break.
And we are back once again to Ooredoo Nation's Esports Contender Series. That was game number two of our best of three, our first best of three of the semifinals. And so, with that, we're moving on to the most exciting third game against Kaluofumi and Ellen and Seeping Force. And so, Mike, what were your thoughts about that previous game?
My honest thoughts really is that I think both of these teams, both KOF and Sleeping Forest, we're probably too focused on hero picking and how they're gonna be countering. I mean, it really works. It is a vital part during the drafting phase, but you also have to keep in mind that in order for it to be effective, in order for it to be a counter towards the enemy's picks, you also have to know how to really effectively use those heroes. But like example, like game number one, I think Jawhead from Trafalgar. We have that Jawhead to lock into the lineup of Sleeping Forest, which was just all about damage. If Trafalgar really gave the Jawhead with the best of his abilities, he could have really switched that game, and they could actually win game number one. But yeah, we also have for game number two where Mads picking Franco to lock onto that Joy whenever the electrifying beats would go to the back lane. Still, it was effective, but Mads didn't really give out the best of his potential towards giving the Franco a proper justice. But yeah, you would be heading on to game number three right now. The picks would be finalized. Still, the bans would be finalized.
And already we're seeing a lot of respect bans. Not a lot. I'm just being really dramatic, but the Zushin is definitely getting banned by Kalo Fumi. And with that, I mean, Sleeping Forest with the Zushin in the hands of Lieutenant Custer, that was definitely something that they never, ever, ever want to see on the field once again. But of course, talking about the likes of Trafalgar, I mean, we saw in game number one, I guess the Jawhead didn't really get to shine, but definitely the Cho in the second game. We saw like some of those pickoffs actually turned the tides around, especially on the most important team fights. But on the side of Ellen and Seeping Forest, Mads, Franco, around the mid game, they actually got the hooks that made the pickoffs really shine, but then again they fell off towards the end. They didn't really utilize Franco all that much, and so with that, I think Elena Sleeping Forest is gonna adjust to the strategies after that, and that we're seeing actually some of the bans. The Sicilians definitely getting banned, but surprisingly on the side of Sleeping Forest. So I think they have another mage in mind.
Sicilian, Asuyo, and Hayabusa banned from Sleeping Forest. Kalao Fumi would be banning the Granger, the Zushin, and the Kalia. But here we have our first pick will be finalized for Sleeping Forest. Now getting a hand onto that Badang. And yeah, I mean, Badang has been banned during the previous games, but finally, Sleeping Forest to be able to put him to use.
Yeah, I mean, Badang with their wall is definitely good for the pickoffs and also the crowd control, just a little bit, especially if the execution is well done on the wall. But then again, that was just our first pick. The Sleeping Forest decided to prioritize on the Badang, but over here we're seeing the Eve on the side of Kolofumi. I believe we saw an Eve yesterday. I'm not sure if we saw its full potential. There was a rematch, so I think Eve was in the rematch, so I wasn't really sure how the Eve was played out. But of course, we're seeing a Joy once again on the side of Kalofumi, and Sleeping Forest responds with a Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas to lock onto that second pick for Sleeping Forest, but still taken for their team. I really want to see a Fanny being picked for Sleeping Forest because it also works well with the Badang, especially with the wall. When that wall goes up, the Fanny can really just spam his cables and the first skills being active. But yeah, Sleeping Forest, the Harith would be locked on as the third pick. Kalo Fumi would be getting the Brody yet again. And yeah, the Eve and the Joy for the third time. So again, I'm really just excited to see on how they're gonna do this one. I think it's pretty much balanced at this point. We have seen some new picks for Sleeping Forest, KOF sticking to their comfort picks, and yeah, there we have it. As Sleeping Forest would be banning the Joe since Trafalgar was really good at it.
Yeah, and to think that Trafalgar hasn't really taken their pick yet, I think Sleeping Forest will be, I guess, targeting Trafalgar's role, and with that, their second ban will actually be the chip. And so, with that, I mean, that's to be understandable. I'm actually surprised Chip just got banned right now, and no one picked him in the previous games. But we're seeing a Gatot Gacha on the side of Kalo Fumi. But going back to actually the lineup so far in the first phase, it's still Lucas and the joy on the jungle. I think in the past two games, and both these teams, they were pretty much the epitome of if it ain't broken, don't fix it. And so with that, I think we're gonna be moving on to the next phase of the picking.
And Faramis being the fourth pick, which actually is our first time seeing for this tournament. Oh, okay. So, they could Sleeping Forest could finally lock this with their Beleric if they're just gonna be going for their comfort picks. But yeah, KOF would be going again. The Kakakacha, the Joy, the Eve, and the Brody still finalizing for that pick. But here we have the high loss. Okay, the high loss being able to complete that roster. Here we have CC as well from KOF, and really the constant damage from CC and while the durability as well, it really works for her, and they could really complement that, especially while Joy will be distracting from the back lanes. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it, complemented with the damage from Brody. But KOF is lacking a little bit of that tankiness, so they could be targeted later on. A Sleeping Forest, on the other hand, they're usually more durable at this point, especially with Firearms in hand. The ultimate could really just give them unlimited chances of fighting again and again. Yeah, Sleeping Forest would be Gold Laner would also be the Harith, which also inflicts a lot of damage.
I mean, Ellen and Seeping Forest is Harris from yesterday in the playoffs. I mean, that was pretty fun to watch, and the Harris execution was really good. So I'm really excited to see how Ellen and Seeping Forest will be using this against KOF. And no time to lose. We go straight into the Land of Dawn. We're seeing everyone is kind of within their jungle, not much invasions happening. Actually, this whole competition, not much invasions really happened, unlike in the in other competitions. But right now, I think I spoke too soon because Mods is currently scouting the jungle of the side of Kalofumi.
Yeah, and right here, Trafalgar looking for a possible engagement. Ubitise also behind him, and Yane could also probably look for it, but of course they will be focusing on the jungle for now. And yeah, it does look like the vision as well will be provided towards Sleeping Forest side. And yeah, early game, nothing will be happening.
Yeah, definitely nothing happening. Nothing exciting happening just yet. But once these junglers hit their mark, I think something might happen. Maybe a potential gank, but it doesn't seem that that's gonna be happening right now. But Helena and Sleeping Forest, I think they're trying to get their numbers towards the top side. So I think nope. Actually, Kalofumi will be backing down, so Mods and Custard will be going back to their respective lanes.
Yeah, for now, once again, this is this is game number three. The decider, especially the winner, will be moving on to the finals. But yeah, our first blood will finally go on to Skensei once again, being the jungler that he is. And right here, I think they're gonna be doing a 1v1, staring contest, but actually making that a 2v1. But yeah, Turtle would be unlocked right here. Sleeping Forest could be looking towards that. Trafalgar, on the other hand, the rest of KOF are preparing for a possible flank. And yeah, they're already starting it, making it this a 3v2, trying to fight this, but Trafalgar, low on health, he could be taken down easily. Now, less than 2,000 remaining from Turtle, and it would be going to the side of Sleeping Forest. Yanni, on the other hand, low on health, with nowhere to run. Nagato and Mubi TC would be running away.
Oh man, Trafalgar got picked off once again, but then again, if you're the frontliner, that's kind of what you kind of have to sacrifice. You sacrifice your life first for the rest of your team. But of course, unfortunately, the initiation that Kalofumi tried to do, especially in the terms of trying to get that objective in the bag, that turtle, it didn't really work out. But then again, we're still about 3 minutes into the game, so Kalofumi as long as they play the cards right, maybe they can still have this in the bag. But for now, actually, Ellen and Sleeping Forest has a slight goals advantage, but towards the jungle of the side of Kalofumi.
There, the damage follow-up as well. Trafalgar gets into the fray with the ultimate, but the ultimate being popped out as well. Custard will have to say bye for now. Yanni taking the kill with electrified feet. Now would probably be able to look for a possible engagement, but he has to move back as now they're being actually attacked like the pincer attack. And he has to pay for his life. Trafalgar would be running away. Rafael still was calculating if he could actually inflict those damage, but yeah, it seems that he would not. And for now, they would be not committing this fight.
And I love the sustainability that Hylos gives. It makes all the difference in the team fights. And Rafael almost lost, but then again, the damage just wasn't enough on the side of Ellen and CP4, so everyone's backing away. But I really like seeing the scoreboard right now. Ellen and Sleeping Forest has a really good start, and of course, Midnight, pretty good farm so far. But then again, I think Akalo Fumi, they're in trouble once again in the bottom lane.
There we have it. Kensei would find a kill on Nagato as he tries to go for farmer here. He was just assassinated. Trafalgar on the other hand tries to steal that one, and I think the turtle spawns at the top side of the map. KOF could be looking at this one, but they're trying to fight it against Midnight, trying to get that down, but as Sleeping Forest already on the move. Yanni get the turtle, and now the damage again, the Eve, the ultimate following up, but Ruby PC would be eliminated. Kensei on a killing spree, could be looking for more, but that would just be it for now. They will not overextend. This is game number 3. They have to be very, very cautious. But yeah, looking at the middle part of that map, it does look like they're going to be going on towards that CC, and they're chasing him down. The Badang Reaper would fall down, and now Faramis and I think I forgot who, but yeah, that's gonna be in the mega kill. Kensei just on the move right here. Yanni would be chasing him down, chipping away himself, and the electrifying beats is connecting one by one. Kensei low health remaining, he has to move back. Trafalgar, Yanni on the move as they are just almost eliminated with that one. The Hylos, the Mads, actually coming back from the grave as he takes Joy down.
I mean, Hylos is that an axe or like a hammer? I mean, that's a lot of damage. But then again, what I really want is to... A lot of damage! But then again, a little Sleeping Forest, I really gotta commend their positioning in the team fights in this game. It's actually making all the difference. I mean, time and time again, KOF just finds themselves in the worst position possible. I mean, you could be walking around the map and all of a sudden there are 4 people from the side of Elena Sleeping Forest surrounding you, and then you're back into the respawn screen after that. So Elena Sleeping Forest, their execution is really good, especially since this is still the early game. We didn't see that in the previous games. And once again, I'm talking about surrounding yourselves with 4 members from Sleeping Forest.
Oh, Trafalgar, the last member right here, and the turret as well would be taken to Sleeping Forest. They would be getting this away pressure back on the top lane, and now they're gonna be heading towards middle part, trying to get Yanni down and clearing that wave. CC on the other hand would be applying pressure towards the bot lane as well. Turtle already up for grabs, and it could be going for the side of Sleeping Forest unless they would be able to detect Yanni, which I think just got spotted by Mats. And again, they're just zoning them out of the picture right here as they try to get the turtle for their side for a possible victory right here. But right here, Yanni would be able to steal that one. Turtle would go to KOF, the damage following off Midnight to take him down. And that would be it. Rafael, on the other hand, finds the trade. Now chasing them down. Custard very low in health. Movie Kizzy will find a kill on that one. Reaper, on the other hand, very low in health, will have to move back. Mads as well, just one more hit. And Reaper does, I think he went for a U-turn right here, could possibly be eliminated if the shots connect. Rafael, on the other hand, will not be able to.
And unfortunately, in that team fight, actually, Elena Sleeping Forest lost both Lieutenant Custard and Midnight. So without any of their damage dealers,
Custard being able to be chased once again. Custard! Trafalgar will find a kill on that one. And now they're just chasing him down. Midnight taking the Gato down. Another member falling down to the side of KOF 4v4. Pretty much fair at this point, and they would have to move back. And that is the momentum for now, going to the side of KOF.
And Kala Ufumi, slowly but surely, they're catching up in terms of kills, in terms of the leaderboards. So I think we're going to be seeing a late game, a mid to late game shining for the side of KOF once they get those items, once they get those level ups as well. But other than Sleeping Forest, they definitely cannot sleep now. They can't be complacent. They can't let Kala Ufumi take the mid and late game. And of course, we're seeing an invade in the jungle of the side of Kala Ufumi up on the top. But it doesn't seem that Ellen and Sleeping Forest will be taking this initiative. So it looks like they're backing down. They have eyes on the objectives. In the mid lane, potential 4 versus 4, but none of these teams are initiating it just yet.
Trafalgar trying to absorb the damage will have to move back. And yeah, I think they're trying to pinpoint the locations of these enemies, especially that the wave pressure is onto the side of Kalofumi in the top lane. Trafalgar trying to put a stop to it. Midnight could be caught right here, but we'll have to move back. But look at the back lane! He's being hunted! Movie TC goes down! The fights connect once again, and it does look like Trafalgar would be paying for his life with no actual reason for him to be there. Midnight would take him down in a monster kill.
Ooh.
Kensei would finally take that one, but I guess a late attendance, a late attendee right here. Nagato finds himself in trouble, but he still makes it out alive. Low on health, it's gonna be Custer. They're chasing him down. Nagato running away from them. Yanni, on the other hand, could possibly be looking at the flank, but they have spotted already here, and they were just 3 steps ahead.
That was pretty funny, especially Nagato kind of walked into a bunch of
sorry.
members of Elena's Sleeping Forest, and they're like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. But then again, Elena's Sleeping Forest, they expended a lot of their skills, so Nagato actually got away with their lives, but I think there's gonna be something happening in the mid lane, especially with the outer turret going down, but it doesn't seem that any of these teams are initiating a fight just yet. I think they're focusing on pushing these minions, getting those objectives in the bag. And so with that, everyone's just kind of resetting. But Kalofumi should probably take a look at the Lord in the top lane, because they can't afford to lose any of these players right now, especially since they have to defend their base. But once again, this is a best of 3, so both of these teams, they're on match point, so whoever wins this game pretty much moves forward to the finals.
They have a trolley problem right here. There's gonna be an engagement in the top lane, but in the bot lane, there will also be a push towards that. So they're gonna have to choose which of these ones they're gonna be able to respond to. But I guess they're gonna be choosing to respond to the top lane. On the other hand, I think bot lane would lose its second turret. But yeah, the turret from the top lane would be destroyed once again. But the glorious pathway tries to get them down. Trafalgar being caught in the fight once again. Still, the Eve ultimate being popped out. Farami's full following up. Midnight getting those kills. Kensei with a godlike. Midnight killing street, just chasing them down. Rafil, on the other hand, would not be able to inflict enough damage to secure a kill. And yeah, I've said it a while ago, they would be taking the second turret from the bot lane.
And now with 2 people down from the side of Kalu Ufumi, will this be a break for Elena's Sleeping Forest? I mean, I guess there isn't much objectives to be done for now. The minion waves kind of equalizing between these 2 teams, but over here in the jungle, I think Trafalgar might try to find this initiative.
Oh, Trafalgar still. I mean, the damage, the kills will not connect for now, but you do look at the map. I think that is Nagato from the behind. Oh, that's actually Reaper. The glorious pathway will be popped out. No kills will be following up. I think they were just luring out the skills of these players from Sleeping Forest, and once the glorious pathway was out, then they have the chance right here to maybe get an engagement. But yeah, in around 45 seconds, the Lord would be spawning, and it could probably be going to a Sleeping Forest once again.
Yeah, and Kalofumi is being pushed towards the corner. Trafalgar, very good in the front lines, and definitely trying to see if they can find those engagements and those initiatives. But for now, I think Kalofumi is playing it safe, especially since the minions aren't on their side just yet. But LNCP Force are trying to find a break, and I think they're finding the break right now.
Oh, Nagato, the glorious pathway wave popped out. Mads will finally get a kill on him. And now CC is gone, but on the top lane, Joy is really just busy with the waves. He can't really do anything, and that's why they're not gonna commit into this fight.
Yeah, I mean, 1 pick off and LNCP Forest backs down, because that's all they can do as of the moment. Trafalgar tries that initiative and gets caught up in the wave, in the wall rather.
Yeah, the Eve ult being popped out, the Lord being taken for side of Sleeping Forest, the damage is following up, but they will not be overextending. They would wait for the Lord to start another truly problem. But here we have it, Midnight getting a mega kill. They would be chasing them down, but again, just applying these wave pressures, waiting for the Lord and probably be able to end game number 3. But yeah, currently 18-5 going for Sleeping Forest.
Interesting strategy on the side of Ellen and Sleeping Forest. They get one kill and then they back away. But then again, it's working out for them because take a look at that scoreboard. That's 18-5 on favor of the side of Ellen and Sleeping Forest. And I think Ellen and Sleeping Forest, this is a very safe game for them. They're not taking unnecessary risks and they're waiting on the objectives. They have the objectives in the bag, and on the other hand, Kalofumi, they're very pressured towards defending their base because that's all they can really do right now. They can't afford to lose any of these players.
Another engagement happening towards the middle lane while the bot lane is being pushed by their lord. Now Nagato will find a kill. The turret will be destroyed in the bot lane. Also, I think they would take the middle lane. And yeah, I mean, everyone is here. The waves, the heroes, and the lord is pretty much just here. They're gonna be taking the third turret, and yeah, it's just pretty much an open door from here on out. They could be going in to really just start the fight. The Eve being popped out as well, but him, Gato Kacha will find a kill in that one, and they would have to move back.
And that's one down on the side of Ellen and Sleeping Forest, but still, is it gonna be enough? I bet the answer is kind of gonna be no because minion waves are still on the side of Ellen and Sleeping Forest, and with that, Kalofumi once again respawned all of the players. Ellen and Sleeping Forest is just waiting for the right moment to strike. But then again, 15 minutes into the game, we're gonna be nearing the late game, and that Lord is gonna be evolved really soon. But Ellen and Sleeping Forest once again, even though they have the advantage going on to their side, they're still not taking any risks. They're not looking for this one big team fight. They're satisfied with just one kill and then they back away. But for now, I think Kalofumi, all they can really do right now is keep on defending their base, especially since none of their inhibitor turrets are standing anymore. And all the while, I think Lucas is gonna be hovering around the Lord. But then again, Kalofumi is definitely in no position to try to contest that.
SLFO will be waiting for the Lord to be spawning once again before they can probably be able to end this game. But yeah, I mean, especially with KOF not being able to just go outside and be able to overextend, SLFO will, they really can't do anything. They have to rely on KOF making those mistakes in order for them to punish them and be able to get the kill. But there we have it. The glorious pathway be activated. Very low now. He has to move back. The damage is connecting as well. But look at the bot lane. The minions are already starting their move, and it is gonna be looking like mid and bot are just pushing. And KOF really is just caught in a very big problem right here. They can't really be fully invested in a team fight if the minions are already pushing towards their lane. But Kensei would be taking the third lord for the third time. Parami is being able to pop out his ultimate, and they're just gonna be unkillable for this one. They're chasing them down. Rapilo on the other hand left with low half HP remaining. Kensei would be claiming their lives as he takes two. Mads getting a kill onto that CC. Now Trafalgar and Mubi TZ, the last two players are there as they try their best to defend their base.
Yeah, and with three people down inside of Kalofumi, I don't know how well they can be able to defend their base. And Trafalgar falls. Oh my gosh.
On to Mubi TZ. And here we have game number 3 secured on to LNN Sleeping Forest. The recall gods as the Lord finally putting an end to this one, and they will be moving on to the finals.
I mean, more than an ML game, more than a Mobile Legends game, it felt like a chess game towards the end. I mean, the mind games with the minions, with the Lord, and the pickoffs. Elena Sleeping Forest executed that really well. They could have relied on the damage on the team fights, but they kind of wanted that strategy instead. And so with that, they actually bagged that victory. 2-1. SLFO, they won the first game and then they won the decider game, and that congratulations for moving on to the finals. Very good execution with the Faramis, with the Hylos, and then you know what? it's no wonder they moved into the finals. You know.
Yeah, and yeah, there we have it. Game number three going on to the side of Sleeping Forest. They will be moving on to the finals. And yeah, here we have our playoffs bracket right here. Up next later on, it would be TIL Valhalla and Elpida Esports. And I think this is really gonna be a very interesting match. Later on, especially we have seen their plays, especially with Elpida Esports. They were able to turn around games, so this could probably be a game changer for them if they're able to do this against TIL Valhalla. But yeah, for now, while we're gonna be waiting, of course, we'll be seeing you later after a short break.
Once again, we are back to Ooredoo Nation's Esports Contender Series. This is Mobile Legends Bang Bang, and we just witnessed the first series of the semifinals with a 2-1 victory going on to the side of Ellen and Sleeping Force, and they will be moving on to the finals. But once again, we do have two series for tonight, and we are your casters for that. My name is Annie, and Mike is with me. Mike, what are your thoughts?
Thank you so much for that, Annie. And again, we have been seeing a lot of those plays, a lot of really good picks as well. And those three games really showed us Sleeping Forest that they're a force to be reckoned with. But yeah, enough for that. We will be heading on to the second match, which is gonna be uh, TIL Valhalla and Elpida Esports, which going back to these teams as well, Valhalla, we have seen, um, their play style is usually aggressive as well, and they also focus on their objectives. While Elpida Esports, on the other hand, they can really turn around games. I mean, they can really turn around losing games to their favor. So I guess the goal right here for TL Valhalla is end it as soon as possible, because if they can, then Elpida Esports could really look for that the chance to take it back away from them.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm really looking forward to. And I still don't know if Elpida and Elpida Esports are the same, because if they are, then this is a rematch from the third bracket yesterday. So that's exciting if that's the case. But if they're two different teams with the same names, then I take it back then. Okay, apparently they're two different teams with the same name, and so with that, it's not actually gonna be a rematch. And so this is gonna be the first time TL Valhalla will be going against Elpida. I mean, same name but a different team. So you know what? Let's look forward to that.
Yeah, and in the best of three again, for game number one, they will be testing the waters. But I think these were the teams that were more on the experimental side. Though with Elpida Esports, they do have that balanced gameplay as well. But yeah, a Selena ban. Selena really pays off, especially with the damage and the stun of the arrow. And Selena is very viable, especially during fights when she's low, because she can really just help you while you go in for the attacks. You can provide the crowd control. But yeah, with Selena as well, it also comes with a huge responsibility to be able to use her properly and effectively. So they will be banning that one and just making sure probably they have a comp that would be countered by a Selena pick. But yeah, here we have Matilda as well. That's going to be banned from the side of Valhalla.
And that was really interesting. Actually, the Selena ban is very fascinating, especially since I haven't seen a single Selena not on the banning phase and neither at the picking phase as well. So I'm wondering what Elpida's thinking over there. But then again, no hate on Selena whatsoever, because Selena's a pretty good hero. It's just that I don't really see her in the competitive field all that much. But just taking a look at her kit, I mean those stuns, the vision that they give within the map, and then depending on how you build her, she also has a pretty good amount of damage and a lot of mobility as well. Depending on who holds that Selena, I mean, it's gonna be a force to be reckoned with. But once again, since she's banned, it's not something that we should really be dwelling on for long. But then again, Elpida, they do ban the Zushin. We did see the Zushin in the previous series. Very good damage coming in from Lieutenant Custard a while ago, but well, it's gonna be off the table for now.
Yeah, definitely a Hanzo being banned as well as Zushin. And I think that's going to be Florin. Usually Florin, we have seen the Florin picks from the lower bracket yesterday. But yeah, it will be banned. And yeah, I pretty much agree with you though. Selena is usually, not really commonly used towards competitive scene, but it really requires a huge skill for this one. And Lucas will be banned for the Valhalla side. I really want, it's my dream come true if someone right here would go for a Fanny, because it's just an interesting game if a Fanny would be picked for their team. But yeah, here we have our first six bans for both of these teams. We will just wait a few moments for the picks.
I mean, we already saw TL Valhalla and Elpida play yesterday, and I don't think any of their junglers are Fanny users. I did see them get banned, but not really picked. And we're gonna be seeing another Badang. I don't know if someone made like statistics of this series, then Badang is probably gonna be one or maybe the top picked hero in this competition. But of course, going on to the side of Teal Valhalla, we're gonna be seeing a Sicilian on their side, which we saw yesterday actually. The Sicilian really made a difference on the side of Elpida. So TL Valhalla thinking that for their side, it's probably a good move.
Yeah, and Asuyo to follow that up as well as their core. Yeah, Badang, pretty much a common pick right here. I mean, if Annie would love to play a drinking game, and she would probably drink every time a Badang gets picked, and she would win that. And really,
You
what
will
do you
have no
think?
co-caster and be running off and disappear.
Yeah, but here we have still waiting on those picks. Again, Padang waiting for the next two heroes that will be picked, and Valhalla will be waiting for the third one later on. Yeah, here we have pretty much locked. That's
Ooh.
gonna be Chip. We have seen the Chip bans very common as well. So Chip being picked right here is just gonna be a very good move for PIDA Esports, especially with the durability that Padang provides.
Yeah, and I'm really excited for this chip pick. And well, speaking of unexpected, that is a Chang. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good pick. You see them a lot, especially in the rank games. But in terms of competitive scene, not so much. So I'm excited to see how they'll pull this off in this competition, especially since this is a 5 versus 5. We're supposed to be going in with the chemistry with your whole team. So I'm excited to see how they'll pull this Chang'e off. But towards the side of TL Valhalla, we do have the two lovers side by side with each other. Finally, everybody getting that Carmilla, and you know what? That extra skill that gets provided when Cecilian and Carmilla are on the same team. That's just gonna be something that they can finally utilize as well. To their advantage, but let's see how they'll execute that later.
Yeah, Brody and Harith would be banned as well. Again, these are pretty much common picks, common bans, especially that both of these teams haven't blocked onto a gold laner just yet. We could probably see maybe a Moskov later on, or a Granger. Yeah, not it's not being banned just yet, and I think that's Julian already banned. Which yesterday we have seen Julian picks from the low bracket. So yeah, I mean banning Julian is also a very good move for TIL Valhalla. We'll be waiting for the final ban for Elpida, and that would be Agato Kacha, which is also one of the game changers.
So, Steel Valhalla, I mean, they could utilize a tank or a support. But then again, Carmilla's already there, but they could pull off a second support slash tank on their side. So, Katat Kacha, pretty good ban on the side of Valpida. And of course, for the other bans on the second phase, both of these teams, they prioritized on the marksmen on the carries, especially Harith. So with that, the pool for the marksman is considerably smaller now. So I wonder what Alpida and TL Valhalla will do with that, because so far I think TL Valhalla, yeah, they do need that marksman, and they will be choosing Irithel for that.
Yeah, Irithel being picked, and probably be they were probably anticipating a Granger pick as well for Elpida, so they kind of pulled that
Ooh.
Irithel out. But yeah, Moskov will be picked. Yesterday we have seen a Moskov play. So yeah, in that moment, Moskov could be able to turn this one around as well. Irithel, on the other hand, the heavy crossbow really deals a lot of that damage while also being mobile. So TL Valhalla is pretty much just needing a tank right here to provide some damage and support in the crowd control towards TL Valhalla. And yeah, I think that would be locked with a show.
In terms of durability, I think both teams, yeah, they kind of lack on those. Other than the Carmilla, depending on her build. So a bit nervous, but I think this is gonna be a fun game, especially with these team comps. I mean, there's a lot of damage coming in, especially with the two marksmen. We have the Moskov with a lot of mobility, and the Hayabusa with that mobility as well. Budang with the crowd control, and then Irithel with the ability to kind of shoot while walking around, and then the Cho to break into the back lanes. The Sicilian and the Karma combo. I'm really excited to see how this will work out. I mean, how will these two teams execute their lineups? And once again, this is gonna be the first game between Elpida and Til Valhalla. So, crossing fingers that we'll find is something fun later on.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna predict that the fights for both of these teams will be probably a little bit faster, and probably a lot of clashes will be happening since their team comp usually is only exists with only a little bit of that durability.
Yeah, exactly. The durability is really something I'm worried about. But then again, since it's the two teams that lack on that, that's just gonna make things a little bit more interesting. It's gonna be like hit, initiate, and then pull back really fast. You gotta deal all of that damage in one go and then pull back before the other team can react. And so that's something that they might apply later on, but of course we're gonna be seeing exactly how they'll execute their lineups later on. But for now, we're taking a look at the map, the early game. It looks like no one's really trying to invade the jungle of the other. And then, of course, once again, we're just back into the farming phase. Something might happen on the gold lane, however.
Yeah, and definitely for now, they would just be prioritizing on the grab and to give them a little bit of the push. But for now, seems like the gold is really just equally divided among these teams.
Yeah, and that's not much of a goal lead. Of course, there are no first bloods yet, but in towards the top lane, Carmela might be getting disengaged
Oh,
with him.
there we have the damage coming in. The Badang wall being popped out. Everybody could be looking for possible death right here, but they're chasing him down. Kha'Zix also low on health, running away. That's gonna be decidable Vita Esports, and they're probably going to be able to survive this one for now. And they're gonna have to plan everything again just to have this chance going back to their team.
And this is what I'm talking about with the Sicilian and Carmilla combo. We saw that everybody was sustaining a lot of that damage, and in the end, when everybody was just about to die, Kami pulls her in with the skill of the Sicilian and Carmilla, but towards the mid lane.
Definitely the damage following up. Levenom still would be clearing this wave for both of these teams, but the turtle will be unlocked later on. However, I think Redex will be going for an engagement right here. The damage following up. Moscow Arrow would also be a spear actually would be connecting, but a triple kill, an amazing triple kill after that engagement for this team, and definitely could actually turn this one around, especially that they have managed to get a lot of these points from the start of the round without even waiting for that turtle to pop out.
Yeah, Elpida Esports gotta be really nervous right now, especially since of all the players of Teal Valhalla, it's their carry that got that triple kill. That's just extra gold stacking up against each other. And so with that, the Moskov is gonna get their items really early on, and then Elpida Esports, they're gonna be worried about a potential snowball coming in from the side of TL Valhalla, but of course it's gonna be all about that execution. But so far, TL Valhalla is doing really well. They have a really good start, and so Elpida Esports will have to catch up towards the gold of TL Valhalla.
Yeah, and for now, they're going to be pushing towards the bot lane. They're going to be engaging as well, going in for a gank. The damage is really just following off against TL Valhalla. They're chasing him down. Kami low in health, actually getting a kill on Redex. And now Heist, also low in health, will be trying to seek cover towards the turret before the rest of the team going in for the rescue. But while, of course, that game is happening, the battle, the damages are being exchanged. Looking at the middle part of the map, the mid lane, it's being posed by our beautiful Chang'e. And definitely, they could be getting a little bit of the damage. But yeah, he makes it out in time. And they were able to actually distract them. But yeah, while that was happening, they would be suffering with more deaths. For now, the turtle would be up for grabs.
And it doesn't seem that any one of these teams really has the advantage over the turtle, but potential 2 versus 3 and towards the turtle, but I think someone's backing down.
Definitely, Shizuku will get another turret down. The damage is following up. Once again, the spear for Moscow will not be connecting anyone. But yeah, we're now the damage. They will be going into an invade right here. Red X still getting the damage in as well, but Heist will claim a kill. Could be looking for a second one right here, but Heist still trying to look for the best angle as now he is ready to strike. The damage connecting, but it will not be enough just yet. They will be able to provide cover towards their turret. But once again, check the top lane. Dear Changi pushing towards the second turret, and it has been cleared. What an amazing play for this one. Oppenheimer would be able to take down Virus while the turtle would be going to the TIL Valhalla. So again, this is just really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, till Valhalla is riding on that momentum. They're going for the objectives. They're going for the kills. Take a look at that Moscow for Heist. 400 on the KDA, and already the top lane of Elpida Esports is it just has the inhibitor turret like pretty much carrying the whole lane at this point. And so Elpida Esports, I don't know if they can catch up at this point. I mean, they're like behind in terms of levels and definitely behind in terms of gold by a lot. That's a 5k deficit, but potential team fight. But it looks like Elpida Esports won't be taking this. They won't be initiating, but it's actually the Valhalla that pulled back. I think they had a numbers disadvantage, but then again, Moscow has pretty good mobility, so if they wanted to, they could try to initiate this fight, but it looks like that's not their priority right now.
Yeah, definitely. And for now, they would be taking their time once again. And yeah, the damage still, they're trying to prioritize their push towards the bot lane. Red X will spot everybody down, but still, it's just gonna be a little bit of the CC, the crowd control and the poke. But yeah, that's just gonna be it for now. Once again, still. They could be looking for a possible steal right here, especially with a purple buff, but it will not be connected just yet. Kha'Zix, on the other hand, will be catching those ultimate, but looking at the bottom part of the map, Red X will have to fall down. The following clash would also be able to be initiated as well, and the damage is following up. Oppenheimer would finally get a kill on Virus, and they're just connecting this one once again. Heist being caught in the fray as now he's very low enough. He has to move back. One more hit, and he goes down, and that's just gonna be a shutdown with Isaac Foster. And yeah, they're gonna be probably taking the middle third for now, especially I think Isaac Foster is starting to snowball as well. You have seen him play, but yeah, Levenom will be following up as this next body to fall down into the ground. But Red X looks like Red X became he was like the Regato from the previous match, which just joined our happening fight. But yeah, Red X with favors life, and Virus, you had no reason to be there. No reason at all. You will fall down. Once again, this is just gonna be another chance for Elpida Esports to win this.
Have no idea what TIL Valhalla was thinking back there. I mean, they know there's like 4 or 5 people on the side of Elpida Esports congregating, and then they just like, oh, I'm gonna solo this. I think I can take it. Maybe they got a little bit too confident, which is definitely wrong because Elpida Esports now they've pretty much tipped the favors on their side. There was a 5k deficit. Oh my gosh!
Once again, no reason to be there, and Heist. Of course, he was already aware of their presence, so he has to move back. The turret from the bot side will be taken down. The Venom.
Oh my god.
There goes another pause.
Oh my gosh. Okay, backhand. What's happening, bro? What do we do? Is TLL Valhalla Elpida Esports? Is this a no info,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for now, for now, while the game is being paused, of course, we have to be thinking for a lot of things. I don't know what is happening.
Yeah, I really want to know what's happening. I mean, if this is a technical pause, I mean, like a tactical pause, I mean, that will make sense, especially since the tables turned so fast. A while ago, we saw a 5k deficit on the side of, I believe that was Elpida Esports, but they caught on so fast. And the scoreboard quickly became a 5-8 with all those mistakes coming in from TL Valhalla. But of course, I really like to know the real story behind of the pause. But so far, we're not getting any information just yet. Yeah, we're definitely not getting information yet. But you know what, Nick? What were your thoughts so far?
I mean, we have to know that later on. But for now,
Yeah.
while everything is still, being paused, we'd also take a little bit of that pause as well. So yeah, we'll be heading on for a short break. Yeah, we are back right here, and yeah, it does look like the game will be resuming. And yeah, definitely we're back into the game. Elpida Esports definitely has this one turned around.
Yeah, definitely happening right now. I mean, a while ago it was Elpida Esports that had the advantage, but I think they're gonna be falling back for now. I think things are going good for the side of TL Valhalla. Information that we got is apparently that one of these teams are lagging, and if it was TL Valhalla, that's probably the reason why their communication kind of got a little bit wonky towards the end, but. I think the Valhalla will be fine for now. I mean, like they've reset and they're defending their base quite well, and I think everyone's just going back to the objectives. And all eyes on the Lord. By the way, with half a minute left to go before respawning, so these two teams they can't afford to lose any of these players right now.
Yeah, I mean the second turret for the top lane was taken down from TL Valhalla. Elpida Esports applying wave pressure once again. But look at the bot lane right now. Look at it. I mean the Chu is still taking him down, but Heist. I mean, he's managed to survive it, so he's just gonna be able to survive this one. I think he will not be able to do anything for now, but the Lord will be able to. The Lord is actually up for grabs, especially for Elpida Esports that they have managed to take this one down. But here we have Chip going in for the TP right here, but it will just be too late as the Lord will go to Elpida Esports and probably another kill going on to their team Shizuku. And now Kazik as well being eliminated. And yeah, there we have it. Another push from the side of Elpida Esports. They have taken control of the minions. Also in the top lane of the map, there's gonna be a lot of waves as well coming in. But yeah, Padang will be eliminated once again.
Not a good look for TIL Valhalla, especially with that Lord coming in from the side of Elpida Esports. But then again, it's still quite early on in the game, so those respawn times aren't really that worrying. And so with that, TL Valhalla, they're gonna be resetting. Elpida Esports, they have the objectives on target. They're moving all the minions towards their favor, and of course, the Lord is on their side as well. So, what Yellow Valhalla can really do right now is try not to die, try not to like sacrifice any unnecessary sacrifices. But well, that Hayabusa is gonna get punished.
There we have the damage coming in, but Virus will have to be moving back and going in for a couple of heals. But yeah, while that was happening, they would have to pay with the turret, as now the turret will be opened up the base, finally being able to take him down. But now Isaac Foster will get another kill onto that Moskov, gets them the chance to win this one. Kami, on the other hand, would be taking another kill, a godlike kill for Oppenheimer. And it's just gonna be here the Winions preparing their victory walk as well. But Elpida Esports claiming them one by one. And in a very unexpected turn of events, game number one would be going on to Elpida Esports.
I mean, the tables turned so fast back there, and unfortunately, Til Valhalla couldn't recover from that.
It had to
And so,
be paused.
congratulations. Yeah, with a pause, a tactical pause. I mean, congratulations once again to Elpida for going on to their match point, so to speak. And with that, TL Valhalla, they had a pretty good run, especially with the Moskov. They could have had that snowball effect, but it didn't come through. Elpida Esports managed to turn things around on their side, and it worked out. And so with that, they have their victory in the bag, and those were their stats. And I think we're gonna be going on to a short break, so we're gonna be witnessing game number 2 later on. And with that, for those of you watching, stay tuned. We'll be back in a few minutes. Once again, we are back to Ooredoo Nations Esports Contender Series, Mobile Legends Bang Bang, and we just witnessed the first game of our second series for the semifinals. Once again, we are your casters. My name is Annie, and Mike is with me. Mike, what are your thoughts so far?
Thank you so much for that, Annie. And really, with Ilpida Esports, my thoughts have been very consistent with them because it really is a game of patience for them. As long as you give Ilpida Esports time, then they can really turn things around. Which is why they got game number one. It started off with Tail Valhalla getting that advantage, but in the end, Ilpida Esports, especially with Isaac Foster, being able to farm up until he was able to take and shut down Heist, which was the Moskov. After that, it was just a snowball moment for him.
Yeah, and definitely for Elpida Esports is surprising us time and time again from yesterday and now to today. They turned the tides around. But taking a look at the brackets real quick, I mean, Elpida Esports is in match point, and if they will be moving on to the finals, they'll be seeing LNN Sleeping Forest. And so, like, with their playstyles, with Sleeping Forest is like playing safe, and Elpida Esports kind of staying silent in the early and mid game. You know, this is gonna be interesting finals, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. I'm getting ahead of myself anyway. With that, we're gonna be moving on to game number two of Alpida Esports and TL Valhalla. And so with that, I think we're gonna be starting, and we will be moving on to the banning and picking phase.
Yeah, once again, Elpida Esports. Um, what really I can say this is Valhalla needs to. I don't really know. I mean, I think the best move for Valhalla, which they can't really do, is to ban the player. Because
The
Isaac
player.
Foster, for me, Isaac Foster really gets the job done, especially with an Earthal. And maybe if they could ban the Earthal, maybe they have that fighting chance. But what they have to do at this point is they have to keep Isaac Foster in check, because when you leave him for a while, he can really farm up and clear those waves. All of the gold will go to him, and once that's done, then he can really just stay. He can really shut your marksman down. Especially that's what happened last night, and of course, that's what happened with Heist in the previous game. But yeah, here we have our bans coming in. Of Lauren will be banned for the side of Alpida Esports, and Hanzo and Matilda for Valhalla.
I'm a little bit confused. Are the names of the team right? You know what? Never mind. But just taking a look at the banning and picking phase. Of course, we see the Matilda and Hanzo getting banned on the side of TL Valhalla, and of course the Florin on the side of Elpida. And coming in is the Jushin as well. A very important ban. You do not want that Jushin to go to the side of your opponent, because that damage is just, I mean, absolutely crazy. And in the hands of a really good mid laner, especially we've seen it a while ago in the one game that Zushin doesn't get banned. I mean, they just turned the tides around in team fights. And so with that, I mean, pretty good bans so far. Pretty typical actually. And well, I'm really excited to see what this first phase of banning and picking is gonna show us.
Yeah, definitely. For now, these players once again would be locking on to their final. Their third bands right here, which is gonna be Lucas, and I think we're gonna be waiting a little bit longer for the Valhalla's third ban. But yeah, I think you will not be seeing a marksman ban for now. I think Valhalla should really focus on that ban. Harith would be banned. But yeah, they should really focus on a marksman ban, especially that's where Isaac Foster is really good at. Sicilian would be picked as the first hero for Valhalla.
Valhalla, Sicilian on the hands of Kami. So I don't know if they'll be doing this Carmilla Sicilian combo once again. I mean, it had like there was a one instance where the execution of the Sicilian Carmilla combo was really good, but then we didn't really see that later on anymore. I don't think they had the chance to kind of show us their true potential. But of course, Elpida does get that Badang on their side, and also the Granger. So yeah, I'm excited now.
Yeah, definitely a Granger finally being locked on. So this could be. I mean, we've also seen Heist picking a Granger in the previous games, and he was able to perform as well. Yeah, the Suyo would be locked in together with a Cho, and yeah, there we have it. Once again, this would be Sicilian, the Chu, the Suyu, and for the team of I think that's gonna be Alpida Esports, while Padang will be Ranger for now, and we're gonna be waiting for the third hero.
Very excited for this Cho on the side of TL Valhalla, especially since Cho was proven to be really good at breaking the front lines and going in and taking those damage dealers down. But once again, it's all in the execution. And so with that, so far these picks are pretty good. I mean, the Sicilian, of course, pretty meta in especially in the competitive scene. That goes to Simucho as well. Suyu gets banned every now and then, so I haven't really seen a Suyu shine just yet. But it's definitely, I mean, he's definitely rather a really good jungler. In the side of but the Valhalla, once again, I think almost all the games have a Badang, and of course Granger has some really good damage, and of course the last pick for the side of TL Valhalla is gonna be that chip once again.
Definitely. And now Chip, Granger, and the Badang being locked on. I think Valhalla should be looking for an Irithel ban right here. They're gonna be looking for that Carmilla ban, and yeah, Irithel should probably be banned as well. Oh, there we have it. I think they were listening to me. Oh, I am really sorry. Pita Esports, because really a Granger, a good counter for the Granger is an Irithel. The damage, and especially with Isaac Foster handling that Irithel as well, you have to be able to really give a proper counter, or if not, you can just out straight ban them.
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing that Tail Valhalla can do. And actually, looking at the Carmilla ban on the side of Valhalla, I think they were anticipating Elpida Esports to pair her up with Sicilian, and so with that, I mean, it worked out in the previous game. So, I mean, yeah, it's a pretty good ban, especially with Sicilian in mind. And of course, the Irithel is it's a pretty good marksman. So, totally understandable. And that Julian is, typical ban. And coming in, I think the last ban is going to be that Hayabusa, which we saw in the previous game, but I don't think Hayabusa really shined all that much. So, you know what? Both of these teams, they do. No, not actually both of these teams. I think Suyo is going to be going to the jungle on the side of Apida Esports, but TL Valhalla definitely needs a jungler on their side.
For Alpida Esports, their choices for a marksman would either be 1-1 or a Moskov. But for now, we're looking at TL Valhalla. That's gonna be a Ling. Okay, actually makes sense. He could actually be the one to go into the back lanes and assassinate the Sicilian. But yeah, we're looking for a more either a magic, either a mage for TL Valhalla or a tank. But for Elpida Esports, they will be locking the fourth one with a Beleric, and the last would be a Brody. Oh yeah. I totally forgot about Brody. The damage output for Brody is very essential as well. So Isaac Foster would be able to use him for now. And this game really, if Elpida Esports could win this once again, and they move towards the finals, we could actually compare with a Sleeping Forest. I mean, no, I'm sorry. Brody was being played by the KOF. So yeah, I mean, Alpida Esports, they could also utilize with this Brody. For now, TL Valhalla would be finalizing these picks with okay, Vixana. They're gonna be going for a mage. So they still need more of the durability, but I guess Chip and Badang has provided enough of that.
And LPD Esports, they finally have this Beleric, which just gives that sustain, especially for the rest of the team. So this is an interesting pick. We do have that Ling to kind of go into the back lines and get that Brody, get that Sicilian. But then again, there is a counter for Ling, which is pretty much the Cho. So Ling will have to, think about that as well. And so with that, pretty interesting lineup. Once again, towards the side of Elpida Esports, this time they do have a little bit more of durability. in comparison to Valhalla. So this is gonna be something to look forward to later on. It's gonna be all about the execution, and I mean, Elpida Esports, they've proven themselves to kind of be able to turn the tides around. So I want to see how the story will go in this fight.
Yeah, we are now into the land of Dawn, already being done. But you know, I gotta say about Team Comp for Elpida Esports, they're kind of the same with the previous team that won, that secured their spot to the finals because they went in for the full damage and full tanks as well. And if they usually that kind of works. So I wonder if Elpida Esports could use that to their advantage later on. But yeah, here we have the damage will be poked from time to time, and yeah, they're just gonna be scouting or just poking. Nothing new yet.
Yeah, and well, most of maybe not even most. All of these teams, they don't really like invading the jungle, and I like invades. I like early game in games. They invade rather. They just make things a little bit more interesting. And it looks like this little bit of tussle in the river was just a bunch of poking. No one's really committing to that engagement just yet. A little bit suspicious of the things happening in the gold lane, however.
Kha'Zix will get the kill. The first blood will go to them, but Oppenheimer will find one. Venom also going in for the trades, chasing him down. Oppenheimer would be removed from the equation for now, but with the back lanes, Isaac Foster will take one down. That's gonna be the Granger winning that 1v1. I mean, actually, going back to it, Kami already finds Shizuku, but that would just be it. The damage was too much. But again, going back to my point, usually Isaac Foster would be the one doing the shadow work and taking the Granger later on. But now that Isaac Foster started to go for a snowball right here, I wonder if we can maintain this into the late game.
Yeah, I mean, Elpida Esports, usually they fall off in the early game, and this is just based on how they work in the previous series and also the first game. So, very interesting since Isaac Foster has a little bit of a first a head start. So, hoping to see, Isaac Foster shine very early on, but of course, it's still a little bit too early to say that. Everyone's going back to their farming. A little bit of poking here and there. I think Shizuku's in trouble.
And there we have it. Oppenheimer starting the fight once again, getting the kill. But also Kami will be moving back after that initiation. Ice on the other hand will take him down. The trade will be equalized. Venom and Isaac Foster. Now Isaac Foster really is very active getting the double kill. But we also have to get credit for Heist for getting the triple kill. And I think this game is all going to be about these marksmen.
I mean, 6-6 on the scoreboard. No one has really that to say the least. Like, they don't really have the advantage just so yet, especially since if you look at the gold lead, I mean, it's kind of a bit, there's not much significance in the gold lead, and of course the scoreboard is equalized, and in terms of the minions as well as the turrets, it's kind of equal as well. So everyone's just poking each other out. Sometimes the scales do tip, but then it gets equalized immediately, just like how we saw Elpida Esports and TL Valhalla just a while ago. I mean, Elpida Esports had the advantage, and then all the while TL Valhalla catches up to them in terms of kills. And to say the least, it's pretty good that Heist and Venom are the ones that get the money. But Kaz, what are you doing over there?
Kha'Zix now we have to run away as he tries. Of course, he still meets everyone, but at the end to the rescue, that's gonna be Elpida Esports starting the fight once again. Shizuku will claim him, going on for the double kill. Mega kill ready for Ice, and he could be looking for it. The double kill follows up as well, and now that's just gonna be another motion right here for TL Valhalla. Isaac Foster, on the other hand, would probably go in for a little bit of the damage. Oh, it's just gonna be a stun. And we'd have to move back.
I mean, TL Valhalla is having a really good start. That's a 4-kill lead, and I think they're trying to look for an 11th kill. They're bullying Isaac Foster in their own turret, but I think they're gonna pull back for now, and everyone's just gonna reset. I don't know what the Cho is doing once again. I thought they were gonna get caught up in something that, they don't want to get caught in just like a while ago, and that just caused like a domino effect. Elpida Esports fell back, and then they lost a lot of their players in that team fight. And so with that, everyone's just resetting. Everyone's going back to their farms, and once again, 5 minutes into the game, so many things happened already.
Yeah, the turtle would be started right here for side of Elpida Esports to at least chase them down and catch up with an economy. But right here for the back lane, Oppenheimer would claim the turtle, but they're being invaded right here. And the Ling ultimate pops out. The damage is connecting once again. The dashes. Levenom will claim another life yet again. And Oppenheimer trying to fight back, but the double kill will follow up the shutdown. However, from Isaac Foster, he's just behind them, but he's chasing them down. Still, with no HP remaining, with nowhere left to run, they're gonna be claiming the skill with the Red X. Finally getting the kill, but the monster kill also connecting, and Oppenheimer would go for a couple of trades, and that would still be a shutdown.
And with that, I think it's a 2-2 trade. It's fine, but still, Elpida Esports has to catch up, and Shizuku kind of lost their life right there. But all the while, everyone's just resetting. Everyone's going back into the field after a little bit of respawn. And so with that, taking a look at the objectives so far, not one turret has gone down just yet, but then again, it's still 6 minutes into the game, and everyone's so out for blood that the scoreboard's already 9-14. And I mean, the Granger with the 5 kills, Isaac Foster with the 4 kills. This is gonna be good for their itemization, but it's gonna be all about that execution later on, because for now, gold lead and not much significance either. And in terms of objectives, I think like the minions are still kind of equalized between the two teams, so it's gonna be a waiting game to see who will tip the scales once again.
Yeah, definitely. The mid turret could be claimed right here for Elpida Esports, but Red X going in for the rescue, trying to stop their tracks. Also, Virus connecting these damages once again, but it will not be enough just yet. Turtle will be spawning in less than 15 seconds. But now it does look like the teams are still heading on to that in an arms race. But yeah, definitely Elpida Esports trying already to zone them out, and also applying pressure to the top lane to at least get ahead on and maybe start the turtle for their side.
Yeah, hovering about the turtle. Possible contest.
And there we have it, Red X trying to stop them, but still, the Levenom will finally get a steal in that one. Valhalla will get the turtle down. Heist claims everybody, and they're chasing them down once again. Kha'Zix also low on health. Double kill for the side of Valhalla. That's gonna be Heist once again with the Ranger. The triple follows up. Isaac Foster also makes a move, goes to the double, going in for the triple, but Maniac will go for Heist. And it's looking for the Savage. He was hungry for that, but he would flicker away as he gets out of the equation.
Now, we're looking at Til Valhalla. They have the snowball on their side, and it's 8 minutes in the game. But I would like to remind everyone, Elpida Esports always turns the tides around at the last minute. So even if TL Valhalla is kind of like looking good, I don't know. I feel like they shouldn't be complacent once again, because I mean the track record coming in from Elpida Esports is just like they turn the tides around and surprise everyone. And speaking of which,
Oppenheimer claims Ronax down, and they're chasing them once again. And they really have this. It really is looking good for TL Valhalla, but you also kind of look at Elpida Esports, because they can really turn this one around, especially look at their gold lead right now. It's still less than 3,000. The gap is just less than 3,000, so they really have the chance to turn this one around. But yeah, the first turret for the bot lane will be taken from the side of Valhalla.
Yep, 12-18 on the scoreboard, and 2K lead on the side of Til Valhalla. But then again, Elpida Esports, they're kind of pushing the minions towards their favor for now. But then again, in terms of turrets, I think it's a bit equal on both sides. So it's a little bit volatile for both of these teams, but I think there's a team fight about to happen.
Definitely. And now there's gonna be a battle right here in the Lord. And now Oppenheimer will find one. The ultimate for Ling, trying to get them down as well. The Isaac Foster will find a kill. Still trying to move away. That's gonna be Kami taking the Venom down. They're key players for TIL Valhalla, and with no choice, they would probably have to surrender the Lord going on to Elpida. Esports once again. Elvira Esports turning this one around, and TL Valhalla is now facing a very difficult choice in order for to at least try to take this one back into their game.
I mean, slowly but surely, Alpida Esports is catching up once again. There was a huge gap in the scoreboard and the kills between Alpida Esports and Till Valhalla, and all of a sudden we're down to 15 to 18. That's a 3 kill gap, still a little bit lagging behind on the side of Alpida Esports, but they've definitely caught up to the gold lead, and also they even have the Lord on their side. So I'm interested to see what TL Valhalla will do at this point.
Definitely the damage following up once again. Virus will make it out alive, but the damage was too much. Redex will finally be removed for now. The turret will also be clearing the waves right here, and they have no minions to push this one. But Levenom trying to scout in some areas, just maybe at least inflict some damage. Kha'Zix would make it out alive, and I think they would be opting for a push towards top lane.
Yep, all eyes on the jungle at the top lane. Might be a possible
Actually, an inversion! Oh my god, Levenom, they catch him off guard, but the ultimate will save him for now. And no bodies will be dropping for now unless we'll be starting this fight once again. The Ice with the damage once again still claims that claims those kills, and it will be another chance for Valhalla to take this one back to their team.
In terms of objectives, it's actually Elpida Esports that's pushing the pressure towards CL Valhalla. But in terms of team fight, so far it's CL Valhalla that's tipping the scales. Kha'Zix trying to go in for that engagement, but I think they're gonna pull back. They're not gonna be taking that team fight just yet. And I mean, they still have a little bit more time. There's more than a minute left before the Lord will be respawning, and so everyone's just trying not to die all the while, but I think Til Valhalla has something up their sleeve. No, they do not.
Nothing just yet, unless Virus will start the fight right here, which probably not. But looking at it, Kha'Zix already starting this fight, moving back, asking help for his teammates, and they're just following this up. The Chu kick! Kami will claim Levenom down, and this could be their moment, especially that they've removed the key players. Redex to follow as well. 3 members remaining from the side of TL Valhalla, while Elpida Esports are pretty much perfectly alive.
Minutes, almost 30 minutes into the game, but there's so many things happening already. 18 to 19 on the scoreboard. Elpida Esports manages to catch up, and TL Valhalla is getting pushed back into a corner. Time and time again, the objectives go on to the side of Elpida Esports, and that gold lead. I mean, Elpida Esports finally surpassed TL Valhalla. So with that, a few seconds left before the Lord will be spawning. I don't know if TL Valhalla has a chance of contesting this. They definitely can, especially with Link's mobility, but let's just see what's gonna happen now.
Yeah, they're gonna be trying to fight it once again, but Levenom with an ultimate saves him. Will be going in for steal, but Kami will secure that one, and Levenom will pay the price, will be taken down, and they will be waiting for the Lord in order for them to possibly execute another who could bring to the back lanes. Actually, nothing will happen just yet.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty funny, but Kha'Zix looking for those pickoffs. I think that kind of makes a difference, especially in terms of the team fight. But towards the top lane, I don't know if it's a good idea for TL Valhalla to take this team fight, this engagement, especially with the Lord on the bottom lane. They can't afford to die and be reckless at this point. But Elpida Esports definitely not holding back.
Yes, and there you have it, connecting the damage once again. Still Kami also being able to inflict a lot of that damage from a safe distance. That's just gonna be that's gonna help them, but Oppenheimer will find one. He'll be looking for the second right here, but Kha'Zix will be eliminated. Rex kills him, and now going in for a couple of engagements once again. Levenom looking for the perfect opportunity right here, but the monster kill will go to Ice, hunting them down. Mega kill from Oppenheimer, and now a shutdown, a double kill from Kami, and Oppenheimer taken down, a triple kill actually. And now looking at the bot lane, the Lord, however, will be opening another hole for the side of TL Valhalla.
Oh my god. Look at the KDA of Heist. That's 13 to 2 to 5. And Elpida Esports, they lost almost all of their players. I don't know if TL Valhalla can pretty much secure this push. I don't know if that minion can kind of like do its job. Oh my gosh, Isaac Foster got caught up in that wall.
Yes, definitely into the fray as they try to fight back, but they have managed to stop the waves. Of course, Vixana's ultimate would be stopped right here, but that would just be it. Looking at the back lane, however, at the bot lane, the waves are also pushing towards them.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty exciting. But going back to the engagement a while ago, actually, I think Elpida Esports kind of overextended just a little bit. I think they got a little bit overexcited, like they just really wanted to end this game and they got punished for that. They lost 4 players for that. I think their execution and the way they initiated that fight is a little bit wrong, and that's why they lost a lot of their players. But of course, that gave a chance for Teal Valhalla to kind of catch up, especially in terms of putting the pressure on to the side of Elpida Esports. Especially the bot lane, they finally caught up. But then again, Elpida Esports, they don't really have to worry about that too much since they still have their inner turrets, I mean their mid turrets on all of these lanes. And so with that, few seconds left before the Lord will be spawning. Very good positioning on the side of Elpida Esports for that objective, but of course, Yel Valhalla will not let them get away with that just yet.
Oop, there we have it. Red X being spotted by Alpina Esports. You, what were you doing? No one was there. Well, no one was there with you. And now that the Lord will be started by Alpina Esports, they could get this, especially that they TL Valhalla has no initiator for now. And yes, the Lord will go once again to Vida Esports. TL Valhalla would be waiting on their base right here to maybe hope for some miracle to take this one back.
I mean, time and time again, Elpida Esports has the upper hand so far. We're 17 minutes into this game. I mean, taking a look at the bot lane, they should pretty much worry about that, and also the mid lane as well. On the side of Elpida Esports, I'm not sure what they're thinking right now, but they definitely have eyes on the top lane. They're just making sure that they're not letting TL Valhalla breathe. They're not letting them they're not giving away any of the rest of the turrets of Elpida Esports. And with that, there are 4 people on the top lane. Possible engage if ever Elpida Esports really wants to end this real quick. But of course, eyes on the top lane.
There we have it. Another engagement is going to be happening. LaVenom still with half the health remaining. We'll be looking for an opening right here. But yeah, again, building these waves to crash onto the base before they can look for a potential snipe. And I think Red X has learned his lesson and decided to just stay within the base of TIL Valhalla. But another wave will be coming in. Kha'Zix looking for another target right here and also baiting out their skills.
And I like how Elpida Esports is finally practicing their discipline. I mean, they weren't like really greedy and really impatient with trying to go for these team fights. Although one good team fight for the side of Elpida Esports, and it's just gonna be the downfall of Teal Valhalla. Wall coming from Badang coming up. I think they're trying to see if they can get a pick off, but of course, these 2 teams, they're not gonna let up. It's like a 5 versus 5 most of the time. They're all clustered together. And it looks like Elpida Esports might be trying something new. They're positioning themselves all around in the map. And of course, there's still a minute to go before the Lord will respawn. So I don't know what they're thinking right now.
Yeah, for now, Kha'Zix still, he's really looking for a possible target right here. But Teal Valhalla, they really decided to just stick together. The Lord, however, will be unlocked in just less than a minute, and yeah, that's gonna be it. I think they're gonna be waiting for the to secure the Lord before they can go and end the game. But yeah, for now, looking at the both teams, it's pretty much even. So they really have the best chance for both teams right here. Virus, on the other hand, could be caught right here. Kha'Zix going in for the kick in the wrong direction. That was very unfortunate, and they will be trying once again later on. But look at the top lane. Our Ling, our hero, our hope is pushing and taking the second turret down. However, he will be stopped by Kha'Zix.
I mean, Kha'Zix, a while ago, they had their eyes locked on a Heist, but unfortunately, they couldn't get that pick off in time, and Heist was just really smart about that. But with the Lord up, Red X in a very fancy position once again. Probably gonna get punished real soon, but with the portal coming in.
There we have again Levenom claiming Kami down Heist to follow that up as well. But now
Oh
our
my.
Beleric will also help his teammates. Double kill for Heist. And now it looks like the Lord could be going to PIL Valhalla. I mean, this was really a very smart move for Levenom because he was really he took the second turn top lane, and he really was expecting that it would grab the attention of someone. And for Elpida Esports, their key tank right here is not Beleric, it is Kha'Zix. So when Kha'Zix went in to stop him on the top part of that map, they weren't able to anticipate that the Lord would be spawning in less than 10 seconds, which got them an easy secure onto the Lord.
Yeah, finally, Gil Valhalla catches a break and even get that Evolved Lord on their side. And well, Elpida Esports finally respawned once again, so I think they have this defense in the bag, but they should be a little bit more careful with their kills. Red X just appeared out of nowhere, and Kazakhs. It's a good thing it was just Kazakhs over there, but I think TL Valhalla is cooking something up. They're going in to try to apply pressure on the side of Elpida Esports, and towards the mid lane, it's potential 5 versus 3, but I don't think Elpida Esports will be initiating an engagement, especially if they have to worry about that Evolved Lord coming in on the top lane.
Oh, already just before the Lord strikes the turret, they've already started chipping down the health. On the other hand, Beleric could be receiving most of the damage just to distract them, but the turret will be destroyed from the bottom lane, and it could be opening up a hole right here, but for now, they've pretty much just secured this area. Levenom would be caught by the ultimate from Joe before he saves himself with that ultimate of his as well, but he would be too late as Heist also would be taking those trades, and this is going to be a 4v4, still trying to claim them down. The Vexana ultimate also helping them, especially with their fights, but Kami is still trying to at least contribute to the fights, the damage, following up, going in for the double, could be going for the triple right here, but going in for the triple, could be going for the Maniac. Virus runs away, alone and afraid. Still, he manages to escape, but that would be a Kha'Zix trying to get him down as well. But I think he was also trying to predict his movements, but I think it would be too late as now Virus will be able to do fast. Oh, actually going in to push him away, but it's too late. The last member, he's gonna be caught as the last meal, the final meal for game number 2. And I think with a few minions to their team, they could actually secure this one. But Levenom, however, would be spawning in less than 5 seconds, but that's gonna be too late as we're gonna be seeing Elpida Esports heading on to the finals.
You know what? I think this is the trademark for Elpida Esports. They always give us a heart attack just before they get that victory. They always pull through. They always pull through every single time. Congratulations, Elpida Esports, for moving on to the finals. You better not pull that off again in the finals. I mean, my heart! I was like, oh my gosh, is it Elpida Esports? Is it Til Valhalla? Who's gonna win?
Yeah, and yeah, there you have it. Once again, Isaac Foster showing what a goal he is by being that MVP for this match. TL Valhalla also with Heist. I mean, I've said it a while ago. It really is a game of old laners right here, with them just keep popping off one after the other. And I think what's really good with Elpida Esports is they're kind of aware already. Whenever they make a mistake, they've always looked for a solution as soon as possible, and they were able to apply it.
Mm-hmm. And of course, that was a pretty good game. Elpida Esports always very predictable in the fact that they're so unpredictable, and that was a really fun game to watch, especially with Team Valhalla and Elpida Esports. I mean, Team Valhalla, they had the upper hand, and Elpida Esports is always denying them of that victory. And with that, we're looking at the potential finals tomorrow. This is Ellen and Sleeping Forest versus Elpida Esports. Two pretty good teams, two wonderful fights that we will be witnessing tomorrow. And with that, we're actually gonna have the final match. It is a best of 5 for the finals tomorrow at 9:30 IST. So you guys do stay tuned. And that was the playoff brackets. And Mike, I mean, do you have any final thoughts so far?
Definitely. With Elpida Esports, they're really good with their decision making, especially with how they play their games. Although they will commit some mistakes, especially during that Chu versus Ling play. But yeah, at the end, they have managed to fix their mistakes and they were able to stick until the end of it. And yeah, I think that's gonna. I think that's what Sleeping Forest would have to be aware of, especially against a team like Elpida Esports. How about you, Annie?
Yeah, I mean, Sleeping Forest. I think they like playing it safe, and I don't know how that will translate to the chemistry going against Elpida Esports. So that's something that I don't know what to say about that. So I'm just excited to see what's gonna happen tomorrow. We'll just have to wait and see. And with that, of course, I think that concludes our semifinals. This has been Ooredoo Nation's Esports Contender Series, Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Those were our semifinals. Those were some really fun games to watch, but of course, we will be saving the best for last tomorrow. Once again, 9:30 IST, 9:30 p.m. IST, by the way. And so with that, I think we're gonna be concluding the stream for now. We have been your casters. My name is Annie, and Mike was with me, and we will be seeing you tomorrow for the finals.